following program features adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Oh, nice.
And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to Total Tabletop. This is Horseman the Apocalypse, and I will be your humble dungeon master for the evening, DM Steelax. And once again, we are surrounded by our cast and crew, and I forgot to update the episode numbers. I'm going to fix it real quick. So go ahead, let's introduce the players. Well, I do that because I'm an idiot, and I didn't change it.
Well, first of all, thanks to True Duality for the sub. That's awesome. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
To
Welcome to the family.
Hey. My name's Kyle, coming out of York, Pennsylvania. You know me better as everyone's favorite Halfling Bard, Philly Shenanigan. And tonight, I'm actually doing a shout-out to one of my buddies who doesn't get a chance to watch it live, but he does go back and watch our YouTube, so that's a plug for the YouTube at the same time.
Who's your friend?
His name's Ether, but I go, hey, Ether! He'll know what that means. That's all. I just had to give him a shout-out because he asked me to.
Absolutely. Love it.
Sucks he can't watch it live, but he always goes back and watches he watches this and then he just
So he's here with us in spirit. I can feel him.
Always.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, Kyle.
Hi, everybody. My name's AJ. I play Rin and Aran, the High Elf Wizard. And, there's some shit involved with Rin right now, so there's going to be some emotion coming this way. So I look forward to starting it. Yeah, there's going to be words and finger snaps.
Yeah. Hell nah. All right, welcome back.
Hi everyone, I'm Dylan. I play Kurtz Glaskin, everyone's least favorite fighter but favorite cleric.
Shit.
And, Kurtz was having a good day. He got to kill some people and get in a fight, and there was money and interrogations, and now we have all this stuff to do, and it's just so exhausting.
But we're getting ready to do something you've been looking forward to.
We are going to go liberate the Grung.
Liberate the Grung.
The ground.
Viva la resistance.
We gotta get a beret.
Just one.
We need one for Grung, yeah. Did an eye patch.
There will be red spilt this day. Well, welcome back, Dylan. Last but certainly not least.
Hey everyone, my name is Connor. I am playing Urger Dropper, the half-orc ranger, who is also very excited to liberate the Grung and also to, Actually, no, just to liberate the Grung, that was it.
Okay, short but sweet. Love
also,
it.
she's...
Go ahead.
I gotta get this thing back on, because it's on again, and I forgot.
Yep. Back in the character.
There he goes.
I like it. Kind of feel bad I don't actually have a mask.
Let's do it after the recap, because I have to read it
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Fair point.
It's a later Connor problem. Awesome. Well, welcome back. All right, so we are on, looks like episode 72. These guys are in year 8, day 5. They're still level 8. They are getting towards the end of this week, one step closer to the second Horseman. It's been one hell of a week. Lots of stuff has been done. It's been packed full of craziness, epic adventures, dinosaur islands, lots of cool shit. But we left off last week on a bombshell, which we'll get to when we hit the recap. But if anybody is new to the channel, welcome, and follows, subs are always great. If you subscribe, you unlock some emotes. So we did get a sub, so Kyle, if you could throw them up so they can see what it looks like. If you missed any episodes or want to catch up, our YouTube, the link is down below. You guys can get caught up on that, and join our Discord. Link is also down below. We love hearing your guys' stories about D&D. We're also eventually going to be putting together some more guild games, so if you guys want to play with us, we can try to organize that. I'm trying to set up a time where I can run one as well. So, lots of fun. Merch. We got lots of great merch for all of the shows on the channel. If you want to sport it, I think Dylan's wearing it tonight. We got t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, lots of cool stuff. And AJ, you want to let them know all the other great content they can catch on the channel during the week?
Yeah, so funny enough, we happen to have this little time slot at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time throughout the week, and we have different shows. Sunday, we have Ages Past. I am the DM along with Connor and Kyle here, and Kayla, Cody, and Scott. Mondays, we of course have Dylan DMing the Whispers of the Eye. As we have Tuesdays, HotA season, and Wednesday, it's Rise of Unity. And all these 6:30 p.m. And then I think you said you're now starting Friday world building.
It's on hold right now.
It's on hold. Okay.
It's on hold. We're still working on it. So when we come back to being live, we'll let everybody know. We'll have lots of great content. We're almost to the point where character creation process for the new system that we're making is done. So we're working on classes right now. So we're getting closer and closer. Lots of good stuff. Awesome. Anybody else have any admin shout out or anything you want to do before we get into recap and start tonight's game?
And a Clan for Life.
Okay.
That's
of course.
always.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Connor, what happened last week?
So last week on episode 71, we were in the midst of an investigation. A hit had been made on the head priestess of the temple, Tavaria. We had tracked down through several clues and ended up in an old warehouse where we had previously fought against the cult of chaos, who we lovingly describe as the Cax. And we and a individual very similar in appearance to Rin, but he was not alone. In fact, one of our old nemesis is Kane, a former leader of the cult, was there to provide backup, or rather, the other person was providing backup for him, and battle ensued. And it was a tough battle, but did not end as we expected, as Kane called for a ceasefire, as he was not happy with his placement in the cult and was willing to barter information for us for whatever questions we could think of that would not break his vow of silence upon pain of death, which all cult members seem to have. We got some information, but before we could be completely satisfied, Kane activated the magical item and vamoosed away. However, we did get the person who apparently had made the attack on Tavaria, and we, Kurtz and Urgra, myself, turned him into the temple. And whilst we were away, Finley and Rin received a message via a glowing dove. Not entirely sure what to expect. It landed on Rin's shoulder, and in the voice of Tavaria, said, "I hope you now appreciate what it's like to have your name dragged through the mud. Don't fuck with me again." And did it disappear or fly off?
Disappeared.
I think it poofed.
I'm going to say it disappeared and turned into a middle finger.
Yes.
Recap, artistic license.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's right where we left off.
That's what
was
you
right
meant. On
the
HotA.
bombshell. Okay, so that is where we will begin tonight's game. It's going to be picking up right from that moment with Rin having the dove. Okay, we'll go with the middle finger. I love it. So it's going to puff away in this white, puffy cloud with the, kind of like on Lion King with the flowers that swirl up and spell out sex. You know, you just kind of see the outline of a middle finger as it dissipates. Finley, you were in the middle of digging through your parchment and your paper, trying to get everything together because you were planning on doing some practicing for forging paperwork to get the building, because you guys were wanting to turn into a brothel. So you were kind of caught off guard with it kind of fumbling through, and you see this thing kind of flutter and land on his shoulder. You heard the message. Connor so eloquently recap for us. And then popped off, and you look over at Rin's face, just with a blank stare. I believe what did you say? It's about 4 p.m. in the day right now?
Yeah, 4-ish.
About 4 p.m. Okay. So the sun is getting lower and the sky still hasn't set yet. We still have a few hours until that goes down. You got the evening breeze that kind of rolls in. The warmth from the day is starting to recede, but you can still kind of feel it on your face. The weather it's mostly clear, a few clouds that are up in the sky, and you guys are just standing in the middle of this road. You guys are on your way to the library, I believe. Go ahead and take it away.
Okay, so that was weird. What was all that about?
Well, I would say that is just more evidence of me being right from the start and Kurtz being an idiot. Let's keep going, Finley. Let's keep going.
Okay, well, I mean, all right. I mean, while we're walking and talking here, I mean, it's just not every day a bird, blows up. I mean, sometimes your bird does. No, Orion doesn't blow up, does he? I'm like gonna think for a second. I don't think I've ever seen him blow up.
Not Not in that manner, no. But we should make sure to try to at least be a little bit more discreet. I'm going to look for somewhere that I can at least talk to Finley without maybe eavesdropping coming along.
Okay, yeah, you go a couple more blocks down, and there's this side alley that looks completely clear of everybody, and anyone there for festival stuff seems to be kind of distracted. It's kind of next to this water tower that's kind of constructed up in the air. You see some metal piping coming down a rusty ladder that's hanging off of it.
So, Finley, I think we're safe here. But look, there was a tiny moment, just a brief moment, where I employed my skills to try and kill two birds with one stone, I believe is the saying. You remember when we were trying to save that priestess from...
Or blow it up. You said two birds with one stone. I thought maybe you're making a pun about blowing up birds or something. But okay, no, go ahead. Sorry, you're being serious. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Is this about the Aarakocra again?
I just don't know any stone that blows up. Either way.
Go on.
You remember the priestess that we...
Okay, go ahead.
You remember the priestess we saved last year in order to escape?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tatiana.
Yes. Yeah, the hot chicker.
Yes, trying to avoid
Barbie.
names. We're speaking generally in vague terms. I don't want to get into specifics here because I still feel like we could be spied upon, but suffice it to say, I tried to create a suitable reasoning as to why she might no longer be here in the city and do it in a way that might start to tarnish Tavaria's reputation. Just very slightly.
Oh, okay. How'd you do that?
Very carefully, and I'm surprised that she found out in any way that it was me, which we will have to discuss about that. But I think we need to do this when we're outside of Candoria proper. Her eyes and ears in this city are just far too thick. I'd rather us all be outside when we share this information.
Okay, all right. So we're just gonna put a pin in the whole dove blowing up on your shoulder thing. We're just gonna come back to that.
I'll give you the full story when Kurtz and Ergra are with us and we're traveling with Brittany.
Exne on the birthday, open stay in the city. Yay.
Today, yes.
Today, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, all right.
All right. Now let's just head quickly to the library, see if, oh God, is it Victor? Is that the name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, because God, that's just so confusing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see if Victor's got any information on what's been happening with the Revenants.
Right.
What in particular are you going to be trying to ascertain?
I'm going to do what you gave me, which is just literally the most vague thing of the Revenant perhaps deal with rumors. So I'm just going to inquire what these rumors are and what's got the Revenants so, caught up on them to take a break from monsters that they have
Out
to
of
deal with.
character, do you think maybe the rumor thing is the fact that one of the Revenant wizards has gone rogue and tried to assassinate the High
Could
Priestess?
totally be it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
maybe you're a wanted man.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Well.
Yeah.
All right. So should we like kind of watch our backs while we're
Well,
going
no,
here?
that can't be right because this happened about a day ago. This assassination attempt happened a day ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, we kind of murder solved this.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
These
were
rumors were-
started on it a day ago. It happened a couple days. A few days ago.
Yeah, but these rumors have been flying around since the start of the week, so it shouldn't be associated with me.
Well, the Tatiana thing with you transforming, into the monster, that whole scene, that was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just referring to my manifesto saying the words "deal with rumors."
Gotcha. All right.
Just deal
Yeah.
with rumors.
So, did you want to fully RP it out with him, or did you want to just fast track it?
Sure, we can fast track it if he can. I guess if it's if you feel like it's not super story in depth.
It's up to you. Either way. So he would. Okay. So if you're inquiring what the Revenant are about,
The skinny.
Yeah, the attacks around the area have been less frequent on Candoria proper through the time frame in between your guys' presence here in the material realm. So with that, the Revenant have kind of lowered their guard a smidge, and a lot of the focus has been on studies and getting the college improved. So you'll notice that there's been some like not construction but like reorganization of the library as you go in there. So before it was the rows of all the books were like very tall, and like there was just these straight line rows of books. Things have been kind of reorganized and restructured, and there's like these elbow pieces, and there's like these study cubicles that have been kind of set up. It's more for trying to facilitate having the students study in the library, when before you knew it was a very tedious process of all of the books are archived and tracked, and they all have to go through Victor, and there's this big book of him keeping record of who has them, and they magically sign for it, and they're all, it's very heavily policed. You've noticed that it's more lackadaisical. There are people actually studying there in the library when usually they would get them and study in their own ways. So there's going to be a lot more people in here and a lot more people handling books, and you'll see all the Revenant College students, just being college kids, but some of them are very deep in study. Some of them are practicing, some non-invasive cantrips and stuff like while they're reading books. You can see like little symbols around their hands as they're going through. There's be a group of them in the back that seems to be kind of like tossing around some magical powers around, which are seeing if they can like catch them but burning their hands. You'll overhear some Revenant talking about the scars from the divination city is still gripping their hearts, and they are talking about how they may believe it fell intentionally, but it doesn't seem like it's a conversation you should impede upon, but you can kind of just catch that up as you're walking around. So what were, other than that generic stuff, was there anything else in particular that you would have talked to him about?
Is the divination city like a recent thing?
No. No, that was
okay.
an old
This
thing.
is the old one. All right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yep.
That's the ruins. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I would just definitely. Rin's just going to give Victor a teeny bit of an earful at the fact that all his hard work and efforts to make this library organized, neat, and perfect is now being ruined by this.
They would call it upgraded.
That's a dig at him.
Yeah, but for you it would be like, yeah, exactly. You
That's
spent
insulting.
so
Yeah, it's
much
very
time in there.
insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rin's a little angry at that point. Yeah, if Victor's not going to tell him much, he's just going to politely excuse himself, and probably Finley can see Rin's really pissed. He's just like, well, this is just a... It's a terrible day, terrible day.
And you notice that Victor seems
Worst
very
day.
distracted as well. Well, it seems like before it was more like, he was like the one you'd go to, like the oracle kind of, that people would come to about the books and everything. Now it just seems more of a free-for-all, and so he's more of like checking in on people and telling them where to find stuff, and very preoccupied. Usually he gives you his undivided attention while you're there, but you're going to see his attention is very split, which is very out of character for all your interaction with him.
You deal with the humans. I'll move on then. I see I'm not wanted here. Let's go, Finley. Let's leave them to their reorganization.
Oh, okay. Shit. All right. Well, I wasn't done. Okay. Well, all right. All right. While Rin, I know we're fast tracking that conversation, but I put there in the chat that I just want to kind of listen in while he was having his conversations and kind of practicing Kane's handwriting with Kurtz's house deed transcript.
Oh, okay.
And while we're in the library, I mean, I don't know if I could just do a quick one around to see if I can find anything on like, housing documentations or like deed processing or like.
There's actually in the back corner, there is this light table that has some kind of magical light source underneath, and the top of it has a couple of different like plastic or glass kind of sheets that you can slide on top of it, and it looks like it's for very accurately copying things. So like you can put one thing underneath and then on top of it another one, and the magical light shines through it, and so you could trace it really well. So that would be a really good table for you to get some practice on if you want.
Yeah, I have in my inventory, I have I have paper and I have parchment, so I'd like to practice on the paper first, since I'm going to assume that, housing documentation is probably on nicer paper. So I'm going to practice a little bit with Kane's handwriting and Kurtz's deed and practice a little bit. Probably don't have enough time to do the parchment since Rin's not really having that long of a conversation, but I'd at least like to practice that.
Let's get a skill check from you to
Hold
see
on.
how the first draft goes, and I'll give you 2 advantage since you're using this this light table.
Okay.
Yes, Kurtz?
I had a thought. What if we copy the deed, the blank deed, so we just have a bunch of these property deeds that we can just pull out of our asses and fill with what
And just
whoever's
take over
handwriting that we
Candoria one
so
house at a
happen.
You start knocking on doors.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
where's my rent,
I'm
bitch?
just saying. It's a thought.
Did you tell me that before we split ways or not? Because that's such a good idea, but I didn't think of it. Oh, God damn it. Okay. All right. Put a pin in that. Think of that for later. I'm focused on the brothel right now. Can't be distracted. Okay. So I need to make a forgery check
With advantage.
with advantage. And I think we said Dex for the. That's what most people use is Dex, I guess. Because you use proficiency, but you also use some sort of
Sleight of hand.
It doesn't say in 5e.
Tell me.
Does it say in Xanathars? Because I feel like they really added.
Xanathar is suggested, but you can do dexterity. Sometimes people will do like intelligence or something, but
Yeah.
one of those two, I would guess.
I'd rather use charisma because But okay, all right.
'Cause,
Whichever
you
one
know.
you want me to use.
That-
Dex.
That's the Huck
Dex is fine.
Finn method. If you can convince someone else to do it for you.
I'll do Dex. That's fine. Okay, so this will be +3 because I'm proficient with forgery kit. If it rolls, there we go. So 11 plus 3 is 14. Those are just for us drafts anyway, so it's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna take you a little while. You're more like just enamored by this table, and it is set up for human height for all the revenant. You can find a little bench that people sit in for reading up from one of the little cubicles, so you can slide over. You can get up there. It takes you a little while to figure out how to turn it on. You kind of get a rough feel of how to do it. It's definitely not the way you've done it before, but you kind of feel like the next time if you come here that you've kind of got a good handle on it. But yeah, as far as this, you got some practice in, but nothing really to write home about.
Right, that's okay. I just wanted to practice. I had 9 sheets of paper. I'm
Sure.
just gonna go ahead and knock that down to 6.
Okay.
It's 3 sheets just to kind of practice on.
Finley, we should
Yes,
be going.
what?
What are you doing?
All right. That's fine. Hey, check out this table, Rin. Look at this. I'll flip it on, flip it off, flip it on, flip it on.
The tracing table?
And as you
What?
flip it on, the light source that's underneath, when you flip it off and then flip it back on, it doesn't just start glowing. You'll see it kind of do this spiral motion while it kind of swirl around in a dimmer light until it settles into the center, and then it'll kind of glow on, and then you turn it off, it'll fizzle out, and then turn back on.
Yes, the tracing table.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I thought it was kind of cool, but I mean, if you've seen one before, I guess it's not that big a deal. But all right, okay, or whatever. That's fine. I kind of want one, though. Anyway, are
Did
we
you want me
leaving?
to
Are we
make you
done?
one?
What?
Did you want me to make you one?
Yeah, you can. What? You can. Okay, I know you're a powerful wizard, but you could just make a table that lights up.
I conjure a shield. I conjure a vase. I conjure a dagger.
What's the shield?
Yes.
They're all
rubber?
made of
I can
rubber.
co-
Those are made of rubber. I need an actual table, man. Something to write on. I can't write on a rubber vase.
I conjure a metal shield.
Oh, there we go.
A glass vase.
Okay.
I conjure
all right,
a silver dagger.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fine. I get it. Okay. All right. I just thought you just conjured little. I didn't know you could make like a full table. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know.
This is not that big. I can conjure anything that's at least 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. This is just a small tracing table.
He
I
could
can
get you
use
like a little Tyke's halfling sized one.
It is. It so is. I'm only 3 feet.
The Hasbro version. Yeah.
The Hasbro version of a copy table for my little fucking.
It's got like the
halfling.
kids'
Oh,
solid
great.
primary colors on it. Like the bright red, the blue, the green, the yellow. Well, green's not primary, but you know what I'm saying.
So if
Sometimes
you were
it's
needing
cool.
to
It's
practice
good
with this
cool
back at the
sometimes.
manor, you could.
The butcher paper
Well,
that tears
I
up.
very much want one. Yes, that would be great. I mean, this would be awesome for all my forging that I don't. Did you know that I could do this? I could do this a lot. But Okay,
finger
good point.
paint.
Did
I'm
you,
sorry, I
did you
digress.
know that I could forge? Did you know that I could?
Considering you just said it multiple times, yes, I did.
All right. Let's just get going. But yeah,
We talked about it back at the other abandoned building, remember?
Yeah, I'm a little rusty to be honest. I haven't done it in a while, but
Yeah,
I
it's been a
mean,
while.
little more practice. I think I might be able to, rock this out. But okay, all right, let's go. Let's go.
All right.
That's what she's.
All right, so going back to Urgra and Kurtz, you guys we're leaving the temple after turning the body in. You did hear from Begir that there was a detachment of tigers that were waiting for you. They were actually getting ready to move on without you. Some of the NPCs haven't really caught on to your guys's when you're here and when you're not, and they were getting impatient, so they were getting ready to set out. So he informed you that they are actually assembled and ready to go, and he left before you guys, so like the other time you spend here in Candoria will give enough time for them to give word that you guys are coming and they'll be ready for you. So what do you guys want to do?
I think we're just heading back to the manor, grabbing Brittany and saddling her up and meeting them at the Revenant.
Eve.
I'm not
Did
mistaken.
you tell them to maybe take a head start?
There.
Yeah, because we're going to speed
Head
up so
start.
fast with Brittany. They need to get a head start.
We can meet you at the
They need to get
teleportation
all the way
circle.
over there.
Meet the party? The rest of the party, you mean?
The tiger should be at the destination of where we're going to fight the Grong.
Oh, I assumed the tigers were going to be at like the lions.
They are,
village.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
if-
impression you would have got.
Oh, if they are, they're going to fall behind us because Brittany.
Right.
We could buy some horses and carts, right?
I mean, I just don't know if we have
Don't
enough
need-
coin, let alone for everyone. I mean,
Well, you guys have built up some renown.
The lions may be able to accommodate us, Kurtz.
they're freaking tigers, right? I mean, they can run. They got legs. They're supposed to be fast, right? Can't they just run with us? How long is the travel?
A day on foot.
Okay. Who said that?
Well,
It's the
conscience?
voice of God.
As I see Erdra, Rin, and Kurtz, no one's mouth move. Like, wait, what? What's
Another dove.
God?
well, we could ride ahead and scout the area out, and by the time we get that done, they should be arriving.
All right, okay, all right. Now we're thinking, not a bad idea.
Oh, did we meet up, yeah? Are we met up?
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Sure,
I was gonna say-
all for it. You guys were going to be looking for each other anyway. Sure.
Well, yeah, we meet back up at the manor because we got to get Brittany. That's
Okay.
where she's at.
Sure. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay. You guys can go back to the
We're
guild hall.
we're riding to the teleportation circle.
Sure.
Getting Grung's here at the
I think Ron was with you the whole time.
Was it?
actually he was.
Okay. Yeah. So,
After the
like
battle,
you,
yeah.
if you can remember, Kurtz.
No, he was at Alfred's. So
Oh,
we
that's
had to
right.
pick him
He
up
was
from Alfred's
finishing
and
up his shift.
teleportations.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's easy enough because we have to go past it to get to the circle.
All right. So, the two of you are readying the carriage, stocking up with supplies. Kurt's throwing some extra feed for Brittany, your guys' woolly mammoth companion that you were able to tame while you're on the dinosaur island. Getting all of that ready, putting the final. Hi, Connor. I see you peeking.
The berry thing.
And just as you're throwing some of the bales up on top and strapping them down nice and tight, you see Rin and Finley walking up, and Rin has this kind of pouty look on his face. Usually he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but you can see there's just something off with him, while Finley is kind of looking through some of the paperwork that he's holding in his hands.
Did they turn you into a lizard?
No.
That happened to me once.
Yes, but
It was
I
a
think
newt.
that was a newt.
It's alright, I got better.
If you want to be a lizard, just you name it and I'll do it. But no.
I forgot about that.
Okay, well, we're about ready to go. Is there something we need to stay for, or?
No. We should get on the way.
All right. Well, let's head out then.
Mm-hmm. By all means.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kurtz and Urga, you guys recharged your stones while you were at the temple. Before you left, you guys went ahead and did some little ritual prayers to recharge those bad boys up. Kurtz, I believe yours leveled up.
Yeah, it's level 2 now.
Yeah, your redstone is now level 2, so the intensity of the stone will glow a little brighter, and you'll feel this strengthening resonance coming from this stone. After you get done praying, you start to see it glowing. You can almost kind of feel this warmth, not like a physical heat, but almost like a spiritual warmth. And you're gonna notice that, because I'm assuming you don't always have it out, right? You just pretty much bring it out when you need it.
Yeah.
So when you bring it out during your while you're praying, as it's spinning around, the intensity glows. It almost feels comforting and soothing having it out, and it almost kind of gives you this impression of there's not sentience to it, but almost like a desire for a bond. You'll kind of be just getting this impression from the stone. It's definitely not sentient, but you can kind of just feel that this presence enjoys giving you positive vibes, if that makes sense.
It enjoys blessing me with unyielding rage and violence. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
I dig it. Did I get any purity from it leveling up?
Let me check. Oh, speaking of, we should probably go through and check everyone's sanctification scores just to make sure.
Sanctification.
I'm at 28.
Negative
Negative.
28?
Negative.
Okay. Rin's still at 0. We know that. Ergo, what are you at?
Negative 20 on
Okay.
the nose.
And Kurtz, you were in the plus 10s. Where are you at now?
It depends if I get purity or not.
Oh, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get real good. You're gonna get some good old
Quantum
purity.
Sister Stones, Carvalia Stone. Alright, so when it goes to level 2, your plus 1 strength will go to a plus 2, and you're going to get advantage on athletics checks.
Nice.
Oh,
They
Um,
needed that.
that's new. Yeah, we didn't go over that last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to get additional
Purity.
pure. Yep.
Okay.
No additional sanctification. Okay. So what is that going to put you at?
I am at positive 15.
Okay, so we're all in the right categories. Perfect. Okie dokie. Alright, so we'll take a little while to get all the, supplies and stuff, but you guys have pretty good stock at the guild hall. So it's not going to take too long. It's all pretty organized. You have some of the, the few people that you have that have kind of signed up. Some of them, small coinage, some of them just the privilege of being around adventurers, kind of brown nosing a little bit. You can task some of them out to kind of help stock up the cart to make it go a little faster. You see Brittany kind of has conflicted emotions. She's comfortable, but also looks like she feels out of place. So she doesn't seem like resistant of being your pet, companion, whatever. But she's definitely seems like maybe she's homesick or lonely a little bit.
That's why we have Grung. Grung, this is Brittany. Say hello.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check. Or we could do a charisma from Grung, either one.
I'm pretty sure my charisma is better than Grung's charisma. I'll do animal handling.
Okay.
Do I have inspiration just in case? I don't.
Let's check it out. You do.
Oh. Cool.
Looks like Kyle's the only one without inspiration, and the rest of
Well,
you guys have
isn't
help.
that a pickle?
Oh,
Ooh, pretty good. All right, so you're gonna see Brittany as you bring Grung forward is gonna be kind of standoffish, but it seems like the smaller the creature, the more intimidating it is, actually. But with your comforting her and that sweet spot under the chin, as you kind of pull back the wool, you can kind of scratch the spot that you've known that really starts to comfort her. And what was it that you guys fed her originally that she liked?
Good berries.
berries?
It was the sap I also gave her, but that's when she was a bug.
I have.
Oh, that's right.
I still have like a jar of that.
Yeah.
Oh, honey from the alchemy jug too.
Okay. So yeah, we could just say, you know, you pull some of that and give it to Grug, and so he'll kind of, Papa, you know, kind of like confused with you, and you'll kind of smother it in his hands, and he'll kind of like reluctantly hold it up, and you'll see her like quickly just start to scoop her trunk into it, and you'll see that it just kind of get sticky all over the hairs on the end of her trunk as she kind of shovels it in her mouth, and she starts to like, you can see the little bit of the chipper part of her come back.
Who
She
needs
eats Grug.
I have an elephant, a frog.
I thought she was going to eat him.
And
And
then
make sure you don't slime right now. We don't need a blasting elephant.
and you'll see him kind of thumbs up at you as his hand goes and scoops up some more as he kind of like a huge just fucking shit-eating grin on this little Grung's face as he kind of holds up as she starts lapping it up, and you can see that they're starting to hit it off really well.
Do you literally have a fucking Kermit and Miss Piggy going on right now with a frog, and it's an elephant, not a pig. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
Sorry.
no.
that
We need to get you a pig. We need to get you a
If I
pig for
find-
Grung.
If I find a dire boar,
Yes,
I'll
a boar.
tame that
Yes.
one.
Giant razorback.
A new search.
So we've established Kurtz is now a doctor. Maybe he's going to become Dr. Doolittle.
He's
a veterinarian. Yeah.
I have many doctorates.
He did not get them online.
I have PhDs and MDs.
I like it.
All right, so eventually Grung will kind of scurry up the leg, kind of pulling on the woolly hair, not like hard, you know, he doesn't weigh very much. And he'll kind of scamper up there and kind of sitting kind of where the pilot position is that you normally take. All right, so you guys can have everything loaded up, and you would know to go to the teleportation pad that's back by the Revenant School, and use it to go towards the Lion territory. That's going to be the closest teleportation pad.
On the way, I'll call. I guess I'm driving. I'll call down. So, what did we learn from the Revenant? Is there anything we need to be worried about?
No, nothing with the Revenant.
Works for me.
You look a little peeved.
There's a few
Okay.
things we have to deal with, but I was waiting until we maybe got outside a little further.
Openstay on Yane Mane Elemental Pino way.
Finley, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
I need a herald for Brittany and Grunk. Would you
A
like to
herald?
ride up front and play and herald us through the city? We are the Warriors Oath, after all.
Oh,
I dig it. Okay.
Make way for Prince Ali.
Like I use presentation to do that. I can make drum sounds like that. Yeah.
100 bad guys with swords.
If I had more spells for this guy's self, I could definitely GD poof a little bit and like transform into a couple different things. I got
Oh,
nothing
yourself.
left though. I'm all tapped out. But I would definitely do that. That'd be super
Fabulous. I
fun.
love
I
the
will,
film.
I will make some cool drum noises as we're going though. as we're traversing through.
All right, so yeah, as you guys are trying to build up a little bit of a fanfare feeling, let's get a performance check from you.
Can I assist in my resplendent adamantine armor?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I'm pulling a Connor. I'm going red, guys.
All right, so
Mhm.
Finley, how you want to do it? I'm gonna with a 28. That's fucking fantastic. Your guys' renown is starting to build up in town, but also this fucking woolly mess. So it's gonna be a crowd shocker. You know, so people are gonna be kind of scurrying around for the festival. You can see people eating a lot of these meat sticks. Some, you know, lots of things going on. How do you want to go ahead and run with it? What do you want to do?
Okay. Between presentation and minor illusions, as we're going through the town, not only will I throw out so stupid. Not only will I have like the drum beats going and everything, but I will start to like wave my hand through the air and like point it at something, and you'll see the Warriors Oath logo that I've been working on
Nice.
like pop up on like a building door, or then like some kid's coat, or like on someone's face. Like I'm just gonna be like just throwing it on random people and things as we're going. I have
Amazing.
no idea what it even means. But
Yeah, so I think a majority of the people wouldn't know exactly what the hell's going on, but it's a festival that's going on, so maybe it's just an unscheduled parade thing, and so you'll see people kind of following you guys, just kind of cheering and stuff.
Minor illusion, a top hat on Grung. Just
Amazing.
I think it'll stick, right? It can create an image. Yeah.
Okay.
Shit, we need to get him a beret. Rin, I need you to conjure a beret, please.
A beret?
Oh, a beret. Okay, sorry. And I
For
will
who?
switch the top hat of minor illusion over to a beret. It's a cantrip. What hat do you want? How about it? And I'll just keep changing
Get
hats.
him.
Still not enough.
What goes? Let's get him like a dark green one to go with his red aesthetic.
Oh, grung sized. All right.
Yes, a grung size.
I put my
Green
hand on.
beret. Nice.
Sure, I'll make a little Girl Scout beret.
I will.
That's exactly what you wanted.
With the green beret, I'm gonna have my hand in the air with minor illusion. And you're just gonna see me move my hand. And you're gonna see the green like fade up and down different hues. Be like, which one do you want? I'm like messing with the
A little
slide.
magical HUD as you're like sliding the
The
bars.
hue- The hue
Saturation.
and the saturation. This one? No. Little darker? No? Okay, there. Perfect. Good. Really accentuates off the red. And we're just
Fantastic.
fucking cruising. I love it.
All right, so you guys can make your way towards the teleportation pad. There are the 4 guards that maybe a couple of them are similar, but they're all wearing armor, so you're not going to recognize them, that were posted there when you guys returned. The security is much higher. It looks like they call who you are from when you guys came through, and you'll see them kind of part out of the way as you guys can, one at a time, make your way through the teleportation pad. And we'll bring you towards the lion area.
This true duality puts someone's having a seizure right now. It's like, oh, sorry. Oh, gosh. Keep going. Kurtz, faster. Kurtz, move.
The awkward be like, you feel bad, but like if we
Gosh.
act like we didn't see it, we're not responsible.
Train must go on. Just push. Yeah.
It's pretty just. All right. So as you guys pass through the teleportation pad, the blue magic light will blast up like a beacon, bringing you through one at a time. And when you come through the other side, you will see Memoir in his full religious garbs is standing.
Oh God.
Maybe about a football field away, and he seems to be walking towards, as you know, the lights were emanating from the teleportation pad. It seemed to catch his attention, and he seems to be walking towards you. He's still quite a ways out, but his body language seems very formal.
I approach gallantly.
Okay, so as you guys, as you come through and you kind of all get back up on the carriage in reselling, because it's not going to take you guys all through at the same time. It's one at a time thing. You kind of load back up, start making your way. You can kind of meet him more than halfway, and you'll see he's got some of these like ceremonial beads that kind of hang down one of the sides, kind of like a monk, like a Catholic monk. He's got these ornate beads that are kind of hanging down. You can see he's got them kind of in his paws, and he's kind of rubbing some of the beads. And he has a very, like, the 1,000-yard stare look on his face. And you'll see his ears are kind of tucked back a little bit, and the fur on the back of his neck is a little like tightened as he comes up to you. And you'll see a smile crack on his face, but it doesn't look completely sincere. As he looks up to you, I heard you were coming. It's good to see all of you again.
Are you sure about that? You seem tense, Memoir.
Begir passed through here saying you guys are getting ready to set out. I actually had a favor to ask of you.
Go on. All right.
A dear friend of mine, Clifton, he has gone missing. He hasn't returned.
God damn it, Clifton.
I was hoping that
Always.
where you guys are heading, from what I've heard, is sort of in the area that he went to go research something. He is a... he'll describe him as a cheetah tabaxi. And he is very easy to recognize. He doesn't have any spots.
So he's a yellow cat.
How do you know he's a cheetah then?
The body frame, yeah, it definitely matches. And the tribe,
the structure,
yeah. I like still the black lines on the eye, you know, but the spots, like there are some spots he'll describe, but it's very not defined. He has had a very difficult life, and it started from his birth. He has been on this quest of vengeance, and has taken a vow of silence until he can get his revenge. And he recently found some clues leading to this vendetta he has, and it led him to the area that you are about to go to, and he hasn't returned, and he hasn't sent word. And you'll see him kind of release the beads as he folds his arms in front of him, kind of looking down, one of the ears kind of flickering. You see the whiskers are kind of pulled back across his face.
Out of curiosity, who is he trying to get revenge upon?
His mother was murdered while she was pregnant with him. And she was almost ready to give birth, and there were some midwives that were able to quickly extract him from her body. It was a terrible mess, but they were able to get him out of the body, and he was on the brink of death for a very long time, very underdeveloped, and we think that's why his spots never grew in, but it's not something we talk about in front of him, of course. But he's a very dear friend of mine, and I was hoping that if you see him, tell him to at least send word and let me know that he's okay.
So remember the answer to my question, though. Who is he trying to... Who is
that's right.
against?
It was against whoever murdered his mother.
Right.
He's been...
I think we're yeah, there you go. Okay.
Right, I don't know the intimate details of it. He keeps mostly to himself, obviously, because he doesn't speak. But he does understand language. He can... From what I understand, he can talk, he's just chosen not to.
So, what was, you said he was working on researching something.
He's been desperately trying to track down whoever it is that murdered his mother.
Is
many
that
years
like,
ago.
is that like another person or a monster or?
It was a person, and I think I haven't got any word from him for a while, but he was heading into the jungle area near where you guys are heading, and there was a clue that he had picked up that was supposed to give him some indication. The only thing I remember, which was it? Githyanki?
There's a word.
This... I've never seen them myself, but I looked into it a little bit. But I don't know what to believe, because the legends say that over 1,000 years ago, that their people came from the pits of the earth and rose from deep within the Underdark. But who knows if it's true?
I speak Primordial. And in learning how to speak Primordial, would I have ever heard of any thing like that? Like that, heard of that word before? Gith?
They don't actually speak Primordial. It's Gith. Is Gith a primordial language? I don't think it is.
It could be in this world, because we don't have other planes.
Yeah, I think...
If you said they came from the ground, it could
kind
be
of a shot in the dark.
I mean...
What kind of skill check do you want to do?
It'd
Do
be
a
history.
All right.
Do a history one there, champ.
Might get lucky.
Get a green 10.
God damn.
Roll a 15. Yeah, but modifier that fucked you. Yeah. The lore would kind of maybe make sense, but you've never heard of them or seen them, or it could be a fable.
Well, we
You're
can
not
try
sure.
to keep an. I mean, we can try to keep an eye out for him, but we are going to be rather busy. Did you happen to see? We were told by Bagheer that there were some tiger reinforcements waiting for us. Is that all under control?
Yes, they are all assembled outside of one of the houses where our chieftain's children, the cubs, where they all gather. They are all awaiting. When Bagheer got here, sent word, and they are all preparing for your arrival.
Fantastic. We will keep an eye out for your friend. A good vengeance story is something I can, relate to. So, if he needs a little help and we have the time, we are in the middle of a war. We will assist how we can.
You'll see kind of a little bit of weight lifted off his shoulders, and you'll see him kind of crack kind of half a smile on one side, kind of exposing some sharp cheetah teeth. Thank you, Kurtz. And he will kind of pretty quickly turn and start heading back towards the temple, kind of giving way for you guys to head over to the area where they are all gathered. So, as you guys go over there, you're going to see a large squadron of tiger tabaxis that are all gathered up. And one of the representatives will kind of approach you and say, kind of relay all the information I'm going to give you. So, moving forward, what I'm going to do is they've been instructed to form these small squads of 4 tigers each. And you are each going to be able to control your own squad of 4 of these tigers. So when you guys finally get to their growing area, there's a token that you guys can have that will represent them. We'll keep them all grouped up together as one token. You each have your own. And how it's going to work is the squad you control starts with 4 tigers. At certain HP thresholds, a tiger will go down, and the amount of attacks will go down. So I have a macro set up that you guys can use. It is going to be the Tabaxi Squad macro.
Wait.
So you guys can look in there, see if you have access to that one. It's the Tabaxi Squad.
I do not.
I don't see it in my
No,
list.
I don't see it yet. I see tiger.
I don't even have tiger.
How do I get it to where you guys can see these?
Does it have share with players or?
You show to players or something?
Yeah. Shows token action, is that it? Did that update it?
Oh, there is a tiger one at the very bottom.
It's at the very bottom, yeah, but it's not like it's not one of the other macros.
Oh, that's a rollable table. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry guys.
It's okay. You can just click it for us.
Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. So what it will look like is this.
Spans.
Oh, okay.
So I'll show you all 4. So you'll have to track their HPs, and as it goes down, it'll be 3, 2, 1.
That's a fucking roller coaster of a roll.
All right. So it's going to be
Your Tabaxi have
20.
names.
So the squad will start with 80 hit points. There'll be 20 for each tiger. When it falls to the next 20 hit threshold, a member will fall down. Any healing used on the squad can restore fallen members and bring their attacks back. The squad will have 45 feet of movement and can be broken up between attacks. Okay?
Okay. Do our tigers have names?
4.
You can go ahead and pick some if you like.
Fuck yeah, I do.
I mean, they would have names, but yeah, go ahead. Have fun. I didn't prepare 16
thinking,
random
I just wanna see
NPC
if
tigers.
they had names, or I can start
Nope.
making.
Nope,
Okay,
go
Finley,
for it. I know you guys enjoy that kind of stuff, so.
I think you should be red leader, Finley.
Red leader. Okay, why red leader?
I don't know. It
Red
just
leader.
came to
Okay,
me.
cool. Red team. As I summon my tiger squad. Tiger squad, come here. Red team.
Actually, I can't. They already have like Finley squad, Kurt squad, but we can give them squad names. So yeah, give me what you want to call them.
We are red team. Go.
Red team go.
What are they in the bushes? I don't know, man. They're like red team. Go. Red team. Go.
Amazing. Okay.
Please tell me everyone knows what that's from. Oh, you guys.
I was quoting Star Wars.
I mean, I feel like it's used in a
I thought it was
lot.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. Please, someone in the chat save us what red team go is from.
Redemption chat. We need you. Come to Kyle's aid. Give him validation.
I
He
mean,
needs
it's
it.
like almost in every little kid's game show. It's like a video game.
Anything military.
It's all
No.
reference back to this one specific line. Gosh dang it. All right. Okay.
I'll be watching chat. See if
You
anybody
do
can
not differentiate between colors in the military.
Anyway. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, cool.
Green. That's the only color you need to worry about. No. All right. Kurt.
I'm going to presentation my orange and blue coat and spackle it over to like red and orange. I'm going to change the blue over to orange since we're tiger in it. Actually, I'll make it orange and black since we're tigers.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Tiger team.
Okay. Does anybody else have a squad name they want to go with?
I have to think.
Grung's Dragoons.
Nice.
Greg.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
What did he say? Half baked. There. Okay.
Thank you, Brian, man.
I've never seen
Grugs.
that.
Dragoons. Okay.
All right, so yeah, you're doing the sniper on the roof. Was that it?
From Half Baked? Yeah, dude, it's freaking John Stewart. He's like, oh, they're in the bushes. They're like, red team, go. He's looking on the back of the dollar bill. Anyway, continue. It's fine.
Okay. Urgra and Rin squad.
Call them the stalkers.
The Stalkers.
Hey, I'm the fucking edgelord in this group, Connor.
You may have been dethroned, my good sir. All right, and Rin.
Reserves.
Of course.
Reserves.
They're weekend warriors. Amazing. Okay. Got that set up. All right, so you guys can get positioned with your squads as they kind of fan out. So you guys know that the Tigers are definitely the more strength-based of all the Tabaxi sub-races. They're very hardy, and you can see that they're sharpening their claws, preparing all their weapons. They don't look like they have a lot of armor. It's just these big, muscly builds underneath the fur that looks kind of war damaged and matted and scarred up, and looks like they each have a serious history of stories that could be told just by looking at the matted and messed up fur. So you guys can have a few moments if there's anything that you want to let me know as far as strategy. You guys will be controlling them, but just kind of, this is the first time you've met them. They know basic soldiering tasks, but if there's anything more elaborate you guys want to go over, I'll allow you guys each to take a turn doing that. You guys will have control, but as far as rule of cooling it, it's going to be based on this interaction here. We don't have to RP it, just what are some things that you would go over with your squad of 4?
I mean, do the tiger recruits have any skill proficiencies?
Falling.
They're going to be the meat shields essentially. So it's not necessarily for skill checks. It's just going to be the fodder.
I was thinking like even stealth or athletics or something for climbing or getting
Sure.
around sneakily. Or...
Yeah, if you guys want to do any of that, we'll just do base 20 rolls for all of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there tokens large size to reflect the 4 or 5 square foot spaces they would occupy?
I just tacked them all in one square.
Okay, so they're all in a 5 foot
It's not.
square.
Yeah, it's not going to be an accurate representation. I played with a couple different ideas. This was the most simple way with this map.
Given Kurtz's background of leading troops, would I be able to fiddle fuck some sort of way to get advantage on some rolls in the future if I could assist others in leading their troops, maybe?
Sell me on it. Why would you be able to? I'm opening this up for you guys to get creative. Think outside of the box, and we're gonna pre-establish the extra things that you guys can do based on what you say.
We've established that Kurtz had a legion at one time.
Mhm.
That legion would have started out small, so he would have had extensive experience leading small little guerrilla strike groups like this. And since the legion was known for being fearless and no retreat and merciless and whatever, he would be used to fighting a larger force.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, I also did shit when we led the tigers in the Arakoka village.
Okay.
So I've led tigers before as well.
Okay. So what exactly are you wanting to be able to do as kind of like a layer action or a passive or?
Once per round, allow one tiger to reroll an attack for everyone. So, like, if Connor rolls and one of his guy crit fails, I can be like, battle master, go. And that's that for the whole combat round.
We'll apply it to tigers only, and if they're within a 30-foot circle.
Cool.
So we'll kind of give it like an aura.
Works for me.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Do tiger? I know cats in D&D have like acute senses, like they have advantage on like smell and stuff. Do
Mhm.
tigers have that?
Yeah.
Tabaxi?
Yeah.
Okay, I will ask Memoir for anything that belongs to what the hell is his name? Clifton. So maybe we can use these guys a little bit as bloodhounds in case we ever cross a trail of his.
Oh, okay. Okay, so are you wanting to have advantage on those kind of...
Also, they know what he smells like, so they know what they're smelling for. They
Okay.
already have advantage in that naturally.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can actually actively be looking. Sure. Okay. I like it.
Mm.
And even if we don't...
And Finley,
Yeah.
can you do like a minor illusion of bullywug so they know the difference between what a grung and a bullywug is?
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe Ren, can you do like an anatomy lesson on like where to hit that? Because we fought them before, right?
Yes, we did.
Yep.
And yes, as long as hopefully we
Where's-
don't
where's
come
the
across
squishy
another
bit?
champion, we should be all right.
Ooh, that reminds me. I have 6 bottles of Grung Poison Antidote. I'm going to give...
So as far as you
2.
know...
I'm going to give 2 to Urgra,
Okay.
1 to Rin, 1 to
Okay.
Finley.
Okay. So as far as you know, it works on the red. If it works on other colors, you're still unsure.
Oh,
Desperate measures.
they're nothing.
Yeah,
Worth a shot.
definitely.
I will do the minor illusion that Urger asked.
What did they do, by the way, for attack? Is it claws? Do they have swords, clubs? What do they use for their offenses?
We can do it flavor, whatever you guys want. Yeah, I didn't want to set this up too restrained. I was wanting this to
Okay.
be more of a collaborative narrative. So if you guys want to get fancy with it, or say someone's slashing someone's face off, or if they have a weapon, it's not going to be anything magical or super out of the ordinary. It would be basic soldiering gear.
Okay.
But I was going to leave it up to you guys.
Rin might choose to work his unit in a phalanx slightly. He's going to probably, when he gets after traveling and resting, he's going to use some fabricate to make, because I can make as many as up to 8, but I only need to do 4. I can make 8 if everyone else wants it, but he's going to make tall tower-like shields with crude spike protrusions on the other end to make them vicious and almost act as like anti-charge and also like a means to kind of push and shuffle. And
Like
keep-
riot shield kind of a thing?
Yeah, in a sense like that, but with a bit more offensive points at that point. So for an attack, it's more like a bludgeoning push.
You're thinking like a Legionnaire tower shield with the giant spike.
Yeah, but with like I think more than one spike. But yeah.
Okay, so what we can do for yours then, Rin, is when you give the command to do that, if you want to forego their attack action, you can have them form this defensive wall that will kind of keep people from going through and maybe do like damage if they attack them or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's to stop them from getting in too much, and it gives them hopefully maybe a little boost in their AC.
Okay.
If it's a shield, because if they didn't have a shield to start with, I'm assuming that's kind of like a help.
Okay. So you guys know they are 15 AC for a base. Rin, if you do that shield wall, I'll give you a +2.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And they'll just line up in a 4 pattern
Okay.
when that happens, so it's kind of like a 4 square.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do like a 1x4, and it's just one token, so you'll just annotate on the map
Yeah.
the shape that you want to do it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Okay.
Cool.
And Finley.
All right. Do we know how long it is from where we are? We said it's like a day travel.
Good day.
Are we doing like a prep now at the teleporter, or are we going to do more of a prep like when we're halfway there, or what are we doing?
I think we're just kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but yeah, it's
all
probably
right.
good once we
It's
get
random.
there.
Okay. Cool. All right. So Finley would first. Once we got the signals that were close enough, my inspirations only last for 10 minutes. So knowing that, I would like to, throw my bardic inspirations to all one of each of them. So I have 4 of them. So I'm just gonna bardic them up.
Okay.
For my peoples, just throwing them out once we get close.
Sure.
The first thing I like to do, maybe about halfway through, just if I feel like we're in a safe environment where I can do it. I would also play Finley's rendition of Eye of the Tiger for everyone, just to get everyone pumped up for what we're doing, and also talk to my troops and tell them, gentlemen, we're heading into some dangerous territories here, and not for nothing, all right? I don't want you to feel like you're putting your lives on the line for no good cause. We're trying to liberate a people. These Grung, they're defenseless. You know as well as anyone what it is to be weakened, to be to a state where it seems like all hope is lost, and then a bright shiny beacon comes and saves your people. You know this. You know this because we did it for you, and now you have the ability to repay that debt to a whole people. So don't think so much about your own life. Think about all the lives that you could be saving for future generations. You have a purpose here today, boys. As like one of them's not paying attention, so I have to snap him back over because being that I'm Red Team Go, I'm gonna have my 4 guys be the 4 guys from Half Baked. So they're tigers. We're ready to fight, but they're also, I'm gonna give them a little bit of flair where they're also, I have the fucking shenanigan group where like one's a little high on something and one's not paying attention and one's eating chips, and
Okay.
I had to constantly ring my 4 group back, which is,
Okay.
it's fine. It makes sense for me
Okay.
to have.
You
that
got the
fucking
ADHD group? Yeah.
group. Have like the pay attention over here group.
Yeah.
Brian. Literally one of the guys' name is Brian, so it's awesome that Brian got it. So Brian gets to be one of my tigers.
Oh, there you go, B.
Yeah, Brian, Scarface, Kenny, and Thurgood Jenkins. Those are my 4. Those are my 4
Amazing.
tigers.
Fantastic. Urgra, something you would notice, you recognize some of these tigers as ones that you, when you ran around the camp with Locke, and you were healing them with the knocks that were on their paws. Yes, Kyle.
I also wanted to ask that same question because I was playing some music for some of them while we were walking around.
Okay.
If I noticed any of them at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Okay.
So that would be my inspirational, chatter to not only pump them up once we get there, maybe inspire them a little bit with my bardic inspiration, and also play Eye of the Tiger as we're like kind of like traversing through the jungle. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Um,
And as one additional thing, I'm going to give Urgra, because of the impression that you have, we'll say one of the tigers that's in your squad, one time during the encounter, however long it takes, I will give you one rule of cool within reason thing that you can do as that life-changing thing that you did for this tiger. So you can burn it early to try to get advantage, or you can save it for an ending. It is up to you. Of course, it's DM discretion, but you can try to really bend it if you like.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
And we're
I think I
giving them.
shall.
They're all like basic, default basic bitch fighters, right? Like their
Yes.
level. They're 15 AC tigers that claw. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
beat
Nothing
up on them.
fancy, but they're the numbers that you guys were wanting. Because when you guys went through and you helped them, and you had relayed the message, you did kind of pull at the heartstrings, and they kind of owed you one. So this is them kind of making that that debt go away.
Yeah, so I mean, that's all I would do. Is I'd like, I mean, I'm gonna throw an inspiration on each one of them so they have it to burn in the fight. Um, in terms of like, I don't know, do we get anything additional to that, or what do we do with that? Is that it? Or...
We get ourselves.
Is that not enough, Kyle? I'm giving you guys
Well,
16
you're giving
warriors.
everyone else free gifts. I'm using my own inspiration. I didn't know if like me inspiring the troops did anything. That's what I was-
Oh! I'm sorry. Yeah, we didn't finish your thing. Yes, carry on. What else would you like?
I mean, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to, inspire them with my words to, they're fighting a good fight today. We're not just sending them in as fucking cannon fodder. Like they're not, they mean something. We're trying to liberate a people, just like we helped when they lost all hope. The Warriors Oath came in and brought them hope by saving them. They get a chance to return that favor. I want them to,
Sure.
be fucking courageous.
What if for Kyle's group, because they are all such characters, they get advantage on any rolls to make a distraction?
Ooh.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Is that good?
Okay, I dig that. I'm
Okay.
down with that. I could work with that.
Awesome. What about? Okay, never mind. I don't want to penalize. I was gonna say disadvantage on stealth because of it, but I don't want to penalize. This is all supposed to be perks. Okay.
Oh, everyone's gonna get passed out of trace before we get there, so don't worry about that.
Awesome. Okay. So as it is right now, you guys are going to be able to move with Brittany in the carriage much quicker than these squads. I know you guys were wanting to do some RP, so we can have them following far enough behind to where you guys can have privacy to talk. What was the plan for them? Were you guys wanting them to just march on foot and it take a day, or were you trying to get creative? There are some assets here in the Lion area that you can try to utilize.
How much would it
I'll
cost?
go over to Memoir. I'll go over to Memoir and say, as you may have noticed, we have alternate means of transportation. Since we're going to help you with Clifton, and time may be of the essence, do you have any sort of resources to help move our reinforcements a little bit faster?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh.
So while you're doing that, my thought was if we go ahead of them now,
You got inspiration, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm
do.
Only
the only one
yeah.
who doesn't have one.
I'm gonna let Gergros know.
Oh,
Okay.
How much would it cost for us to get carts for these guys?
Renting or purchasing?
The cheapest.
rent.
It'd be renting. Let's see. So it's kind of a 50-50 because they're here to, you're in the lion area and they would want to assist you guys, but this isn't a lion quest. This is a tiger quest. So I'll give you a huge discount. Let's see. How long do you plan on renting them for?
Till the end of the week.
Perfect. Okay, so 5, 6, 7.
That's not my
fast-
problem.
How fast can Brittany go again?
Twice as fast as
Yeah,
a horse.
double your. Where I was cutting down the travel speed. Probably doesn't really make sense, but that's the mechanic we were using.
Oh no, I was just curious. Yeah, how much is that exactly?
Uh,
How much does a horse travels?
Uh-oh, Connor is frozen. We're about to go to a break. Can you hear us, Connor?
Is he? Oh.
Oh, we can. 60 feet speed. Yes. All right. Yeah, we're about to go to a break anyway, so we'll hopefully figure it
Okay.
out while we're on break.
So Brittany goes at 120 feet. Okay.
It just says, so how much did the guild cut gain considering our quest gain was 600 gold pieces? Ooh. Okay.
Because, so for the guild games, it's 10% of the final payment goes to the players, and that 10% is split amongst them.
Okay.
So the guild gets 90%.
All right. We'll actually make this the first guild game in-game perk.
Nice.
So whatever funds it would end up being, we can use comes out of that guild fund that you guys did. So awesome job with the guild games. We really appreciate you guys doing that. So yeah, it is going to carry over and help the party. So I'm sure the amount that they got was higher than this, but we won't take it out of your guys' coin. It could just be charged to the guild card, essentially. Okay.
All right, good. So now they have their own mounts. They'll head out
Okay.
or follow along with us a little bit. Either
Okay.
way.
Yeah, they can follow. All right. So let's see, 540 gold. If we're trying to do horses for each of them.
Well, not just horses. If we can get carts and just have them all pile in these big whatever carts, I don't give a shit if they're comfortable. I'm just trying to get them there.
Sure. Okay.
Get
And,
her
then,
back.
and them not being tired when you get there as well is a big thing
Mhm.
too.
So my thought was, it's like 5 o'clock-ish now. I mean, we could do half of the travel, set up camp for the night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then get our long rest into day 6. Do the second half of the travel,
Let them catch up.
right? So even if we don't do horses and carts, which we still could, but my thought was like, if we go ahead of them, and they like catch up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. In my
They
mind, it
catch
makes
up.
sense. Where like,
By the time we're getting up, and then we move forward again, and they rest, and basically we're leapfrogging into the thing.
kind of.
Connor was saying maybe 8 horses and 4 carts. Yeah, we can do that and put it.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, so
Because
we'll
we
take that
can
out of the
still,
cut.
we can
We can
still
figure
have
out
our
the coordinates better.
conversation. We can
Fill
still
it
have
to
our
the guild.
conversation of travel. We're on Brittany in a cart. Like they're
Right.
they're in.
We're faster than them anyway.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just really cool that. Okay.
Because we only have 2 days left here, so we got to make sure we can like get there and do shit
Exactly.
on day 6 stuff. So
Okay. So let's say it's by the time you do all the battle plans with them and get the stuff, maybe about 7 p.m. when you guys head out.
makes sense.
Okay. And we'll figure out the time stuff as we move forward. Connor is frozen, so we're going to go on our first break, and we'll try to get his cam fixed while we're doing that. But let's go ahead and open up a raffle
Cool.
while we're on break. Kyle, can you let them know what the dealio is with that if they're new?
Okay, so first of all, with our tabletop tokens, you can enter into this raffle here to earn these tokens to do lots of cool stuff. You can play in games, which I believe isn't there command? Is it command to show all the games that you can play in, or is it games or something? I feel like there's a command for it. Anyway, there's fun ones like this one where you can do heist, right? Bam! And then all of a sudden, all your table tokens that you're gambling into. You can earn more, and at the end of the quarter,
which is this
soon.
week. Yeah, we just started the next quarter, so we need to do merch giveaway. We'll probably do it
perfect
next
timing.
week.
Yeah. So with that, the top 60 people who have table tokens get the VIP little badge behind their name, and then also now that's the end of the quarter, we can do our first merch giveaway. So you have to be one of those 60 to be able to play. So the table tokens are cool. And you can also use them when you cheer the players, right? And it's not just on our channel. You could do redeem channel chat on all of them, or is it just ours?
No, it's all of them now. Yep.
Fantastic. So when you see something really cool, you really like what the players are doing, you can do that as well. So lots of cool things that table tokens do, but the big thing is getting that badge and getting into the merch giveaway at the end of the quarter. So tabletop tokens.
Perfect. All right, so the raffle is open! !Raffle space. How many tickets you want to buy? They are 10 points per ticket. If you're
And if you're a sub, you get 10 extra ones.
Oh, that's
Boom,
awesome.
done.
Perfect.
There it is.
And let's see. And if you don't know how many points you have, it's ! And then the word points, and then the bot will tell you how many you got. All right, so we'll leave that running, and we'll go ahead and do pick a winner when we come back.
Sweet.
The dice are telling me it's a 20. We're sticking with it.
Okay, just go. I'm going to go over here because I'm going to belt this shit. I'm just going to go.
Yes, this is my daughter Melody.
Oh.
You shall find justice upon your soul. Turn it into a, let's go with a gelatinous cube.
Okay.
And I'll let it just go ahead and sit there and start dissolving the place up.
Yeah, we're on our phones. with the shit.
No, we're paying attention. Yeah, we're folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
I'll just sort of run my finger through the scar that goes across my head. Indeed. Grab it by the head, start slamming the skull into the stone wall next to me until the skull just shatters. Bend the fucking knee, peasants.
I'm gonna burn a lucky point.
Okay.
Oh my god!
It's meant to be.
Tell Caldivar, if you can, please, sir, that Kurtz Glaskin is going.
Come up to Ren and say, speaking of teamwork, do you have any offensive spells at all?
Right? He's got a really scruffy, nasty beard and kind of kicks his foot. Like, ow! Down, and he just starts going off on this rift. Martha will turn to the crowd and he'll go, "Are you not entertained?" Hail, brave adventurer!
Hello there, everyone's favourite halfling bard, Finley Shenanigan here. Being the soulful adventurer that I am, and known for telling a tale or two, pull up a stool to grab a pint as I tell you a story about my favourite hero, me. In my years of travelling, I met people of all walks and cultures. Although the horsemen coming didn't affect me directly, I saw the toll they left behind. The destruction and devastation these villainous beings left in their wake sparked something within me. How was I, Finley Shenanigan, to become the greatest, most legendary bard that Candoria had ever seen, if no one was around to behold my glory? More importantly, where is Alundra? When will she be back? And what will she be wearing? Hopefully something revealing. Anywho, setting on my journey, I shared my glamour with those who had never witnessed such pure, unadulterated excellence before. My legacy was to replace their despair and unite the people for the war yet to come. In the end of the day, everyone can be a hero. Everyone has a little adventure inside of them. And if you don't, would you like one?
Ah, salutations. I am Rin Enoran, historian of Candoria, renowned problem solver, an elf of esteemed conscience. When I became of age, I set out as a Rena and departed from my home of Othalos to the city of Egoras to study the arcane arts. With some difficulties, I was able to teach myself while working as a scribe in the library of Alashar. There, I produced a masterpiece of Candoria's history and its secrets, my manifesto, the true record of our world. However, even my aspirations dwindled when Alundra's guidance vanished, followed by the devastation from the horseman's wake. Despite all the wounds we have suffered, I shall never let our existence be forgotten, for I believe our best hope lies with our knowledge and story made eternal.
My name is Kurt Glaskin, and I have lost everything that I've loved in this world. My daughters, my wife, my friends, all of them dead to the horsemen. And now I have a chance to redeem myself, to protect my friends, to lead humanity into a new age of light and hope. Alundra abandoned us, the goddesses abandoned us, and left us with these monsters. And I want to take everything from them that they've taken from us. I live in a world of blood and hatred and violence, and so I will become that violence. I will be that hatred, and I will be exactly what we need, a sword against the darkness.
My name is Urgra Dropper, and I am a dependable ambassador. I was the only half-breed in my mother's tribe of orcs where the threat of being eaten constantly hung over my head. And yet, those were some of the happiest times of my life compared to my time with the Revenant. I was 12 when I first picked up a bow and started hunting, and I quickly found that people make the most interesting prey and often deserve an arrow in the head far more than most monsters. Magic and even the Three Sisters were always something weird and sinister to me. That is, until by chance I crossed paths with the High Priestess Alundra, who showed me that magic, like everything else, can be used for good or for evil. And that's what I'll keep on repeating to myself every time one of those stuck-up magical morons say something that makes me want to cut out their tongues.
The following program features adults using adult language. You have been warned.
We get there a little before them. We scout and do all of our stuff and prep. They get there.
All right, and we are back. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. All right, let's go ahead and close the entries. And let's pick a winner for 10,000 table tokens. Spaz won!
Hey!
Awesome.
Yay, Spaz.
All right, let's go ahead and give him some points here.
Yay.
So Spaz, you are now at 37,760. Yes,
you did it.
Hit me, my man. Yes,
you did it.
Oh, nothing. Streamlabs is blocking the chat with the scroll on stream.
It's what?
I see the chat.
Are we good now?
It's yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I don't know what that was. Okay. All right. So you guys, we set up the tigers with their own horses and carriages. You guys are going to be a little bit faster than them. You guys can keep the pacing, so you guys can have the time to catch up on everything before you arrive to the area. So you guys are going to know the general area to head towards. You guys are going to be heading into this thick jungle. Eventually, it's going to be turning into that dense, marshy swampland that you guys were familiar with before. So you know you're looking for the Bullywug camp. When you guys are talking with Alfred, when he set up the blocks, you kind of know what the area is going to look like, sort of, and that's going to be based on what you guys can, as players, remember, and you guys can try to use that information to your advantage.
No, I drew a map.
Oh, that's right. You did.
On a cartography check.
That's right. Okay, so you guys can be setting out, and we will figure out how much time it will be, but we'll go ahead and turn it over to you guys as you're in the carriage. You can kind of point in the right direction, and Grung can be up there kind of just keeping Brittany company, so Kurtz, you can climb back, kind of scale down the mammoth and kind of jump into the carriage so you guys can all have that private conversation with enough space away from the tigers. I'll just turn it over to you guys for a bit. Take it away.
So we have Grung.
Grung's driving right now.
So happy. It's the beret. It kind of +1 intelligence beret.
Are we sure Grung knows the right way to go? There's no road to where we're going.
I want to give him a hatchet too.
Done.
Grung?
Yeah,
Done.
Grung.
You see him.
It's like a walking stick for him.
So it's like a battle axe to him, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a two-handed weapon. Fantastic. Okay.
I love it.
Well, alright, as long as we trust Grung driving, as concerning as that is. I'll be quick and brief so we don't have to leave him in charge for too long. Do you remember when Kane initially started talking about how he didn't like to deal with Tavaria and how she was more of a nuisance than anything for him?
I kind of was paying attention.
Right.
Well, so it seems that Tavaria might be more responsible for the assassination and what occurred, and probably hiring the COC as it is. Because do you remember back in a while when when we all successfully got Tatiana out of Candoria proper?
Priestess Barbie.
Mm-hmm. So when I helped in that, I went out and I tried to establish a reasonable conclusion as to why her absence was going to be noticed, and I imposed a appearance that looked exactly like her and went inside a tavern and told everyone in there that Tavaria was not what she seemed, was a bit of a monstrous creature and had cursed her. and made her turn into some kind of demonic creature and run out of the pub in terror and dismay.
What, you did what? Wait, hold on. Okay. Oh, all right. Hold on. One more time. Wait, not from the top necessarily, but wait, hold on. Just monster. Wait. Okay.
Yes.
Try that one again. Try that part.
Well, I made her. Do you know how I can change my appearance occasionally? Realistically? Tangibly?
I mean, just a little bit ago, I learned that you can make, metal vases and rubber tables. So yeah, no, I mean, I've seen you do some pretty cool magic stuff, but all right, go on.
Right, so I could alter my form at will, and I was able to take on her form and then transform it while in her form into a monstrous form. Does that make sense?
Is this the first one stone thing you were talking about earlier when the other bird exploded? Is that what you're talking about now?
Yes, this is what I was attempting to do was to discredit Tavaria at the same time as provide a means for Tatiana to have a excuse for why she wasn't there, how her absence would be because she's maybe no longer alive, no longer her. No one would go looking for her. It covered a lot of bases.
Okay, I'm gonna disregard what you just said and pretend I don't hear it because. But you're saying that Tavaria ordered the Cult of Chaos to try to assassinate her.
Well, we know it was a fake attempt.
Well, Dad, I'm telling you this right now. It was a fake attempt because she sent a little dove to me, informing me that I would know what it feels like to have my name run in the mud, as I had attempted to do so to her, and that I should not attempt to do it again. So this false assassination attempt was all just a ploy to slander my name, while she employed the cult to do the dirty work.
Huh.
Right. I guess we're killing Tavaria.
I mean, it seems pretty
Well, finally someone said it. I mean, I feel like I've been really rosy-posy and around the bush about that, but I mean, I just don't ever think she's been all that great of a person here. But okay, good. We're on the same page. We're getting there. All right, good. All the good things.
I never liked her to begin with. I don't know what you're on about.
That was made abundantly clear, but all right. So, since apparently we're all on the same foot, to avoid a power vacuum, who are we going to replace her with?
Caldivar?
Caldivar.
If it needs to be a female priestess, why not use the one that took Tatiana and is currently hiding up with Solomon?
Well, shit. I mean, Tavaria's taken over and she doesn't have any eyes or special shit about her. Why can't Caldivar take over?
It's because the priestess role has always been held over years and years and years by a female, blessed by the goddesses, speaks to them.
What was the other one's name?
What if...
Or Python or something? Was there another one? I feel like I'm forgetting her name.
What if...
Nyland?
What if I took over the temple?
Are you a female?
Maybe a change of guard is in order, I mean, he is kind of chosen by the goddesses here, right? As I clink his little shiny armor.
That's true.
You need to be a priestess.
I am a cleric.
But are you a woman?
Well, who cares if I'm a woman? That's what we're saying. We're saying let's disregard that.
I think that's a pretty big hurdle that most of the priestesses have been female.
It's thousands of years of tradition.
Yes, and considering the fact that they say the eyes are blessed upon a priestess, and Tavaria technically is the only exception, and they're barely going along with that. There's been others without the eyes?
Well, every head priestess, the way you get the title is by having the white eyes. There are times, even hundreds of years, where there isn't technically a head priestess. There's more like a steward position, where you have someone who kind of runs the temple and its affairs. Tavaria was the first to be declared a head priestess without the eyes, unless I'm mistaken. She made the exception.
She self-declared herself as a...
Right, yes, so...
Well, I mean, apparently anyone can just go ahead and just self-declare themselves. Why can't Kurt's fucking Glasskin do it? I mean, you got stone tablets and things, don't you? Right? You got shiny
I got a
armor.
rock.
You got a rock that floats around your head. I mean, you got lots of stuff going on.
But I don't know if you'll get the support.
I can create
Fuck
I can
eyes, what if they
create
got him a white
holy
rock?
weapons.
I'm sure Tavaria could do quite a few other things. I know Selena can as well, and Selena is also protected and backed up by a creature bishop, whatever he is exactly. I don't know.
Hold the phone.
I feel like we've gotten off topic here. Are we not saying that? So Tavaria is affiliated with a cult of chaos, right?
Apparently, and she's not afraid to show it.
To some extent, yes. Well, at least she knows who they are and knows what they will do, since she hired them for a job.
Well, quick question on that.
Or ask them.
So, follow this question here for a second. Do we know that specifically Tavaria hired the cock? Or did Tavaria have someone that works for her go hire the cock? With specific instructions to make the perpetrator look like Rin and things. Like, it's one thing to have Tavaria to go to the head cock, visually speaking, and say, do this thing. Or if she had, priestess number 21 go deliver that message for her.
I feel like there is either one or a group of entities that are currently the leading force behind this cult, and we have no clue exactly who they might be, since we've dealt with what I would consider more like lieutenants or sergeants.
Well, because even like Kane told us, I mean, there's lots of things going on that other sectors don't even know the cock is dealing with. Like one cock's going one way and another one's doing another thing, and they're totally not even together in their thought processes.
Well, they're all working towards the plan, though, in some way. Contribute to it.
And I assume as long as they adhere to their higher orders, and they can do whatever they wish as long as they don't interfere, or at least don't drop what they're doing and help them when requested. Didn't Kane call the one with the grey mantle a baron as a title? So there certainly is rank among them, and if Tavaria is in there and has a rank of a certain degree, she can make those of the lesser ranks follow her lead, including Kane, who had recently been demoted extensively from our interference.
I actually have two more questions, quick. One, so that bird that came and talked to you and then, poofed. So, first question, so somehow Tavaria knows that you did this whole switcheroo, two bird, one stony thing.
Yeah, that's concerning. I don't know exactly how she could figure that out.
So let's talk about that here in a second. But two, as a sheer side note, Rain Anoran, do you mean to tell me that you went and tried to pull literal in my name shenanigans without me? Like, I kind of feel some sort of way about it. Like,
I did ask to include you, but you were very tired at the time and wanted to retire, and this was the only time for me to do it. Do you remember? I asked for you to be included.
But I mean, what did you? What do you recall what you said? Because if you said like, "Are you up for some shenanigans?" I mean, that's really straightforward.
I did. When we came back to Candoria proper, I had an idea, and I pulled you to the side, and I spoke to you in halfling, and I offered this, and I said, "Would you be willing to help me try to tarnish Tavaria's name?"
All right, I will have to go back into the archives, whatever we're calling YouTube in this world, and rewatch that. But I don't recall you. Just code for future reference. If you I'm always down for especially with her. I haven't liked her since the beginning.
Yes, it was right after. It was right after I think we had fought the elemental in the pit, and we were returning.
I'll take your word for it. But I'm going to go back in my mind and look and see.
To help you narrow it down on the timestamp, it should be after the fight, heading back to Candoria, I believe, on that episode.
But I mean, let's try to unravel this knot as we're going here. One, how did Tavaria know that you did that? Right?
I don't know.
Two, are we for certain that Tavaria specifically hired the cock, or did she have someone? I mean, you just as well know as anyone can disguise their appearance. I mean, she could have still done it in person and disguised herself, or again had Priestess 17 go and hire the cock to go do this with specific instructions. So typically people of higher ranking, if they don't want themselves to be known about it, will figure out a way to get something done without it coming back to them. So we have to kind of think about that a little bit here. But we're for certain that Tavaria was behind it. whether or not she did it in person or not, right? Is that what we're saying?
The evidence would lean in that direction, however, with just as much as how someone tried to impersonate me for an assassination, it's not far-fetched if someone tries to impersonate Tavaria and use her voice and then try to implicate this on her. However, it's still very difficult to pinpoint that because I don't know how anyone could know it was me, necessarily. So if you know of any high magic that can divine this information...
Maybe you just weren't that sly.
Oh, I was quite sly.
I mean, I've seen Rin transform. It's like you can touch him. It's not an illusion, so there's nothing for them to see through or anything. I mean, what did you do after you left the bar? Did you teleport away, or
No, what I did, I ran outside immediately into an alley, ducked away since no one could really chase me, shed off the clothes, moved around a corner, altered myself immediately into a plain human, and donned some of my spare clothing.
Did you look out for birds?
I was pretty keen on making sure nothing was around me. It was dark in the night. And considering I did this quite randomly and suddenly, I don't think anyone would have had enough means or reason to post any sentinels around.
Maybe she just used divination magic.
Well, that's what I just asked, if she had some high magic that has divining
yeah, she laser beamed the shit out of me once. You guys should have been there. That was when I got arrested.
So if she has a higher creature or entity that can guide answers to her, if she asks a question, perhaps, if she asked who tried to slander her name, or who was the one responsible for this rumor that started. If you recall, the next day, Finley, that was when I started to have your friends who were at the bar, at the Red Dragon Inn, buying them drinks and trying to talk about the rumor.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, I remember that. You were so not smooth.
Well,
no, not at all. Looking back.
Well, they were very thick.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Here's the thing. So if Tavaria knows that you're already talking shit about her and she set you up as the stooge for this assassination attempt, right?
Correct.
That means if we go and kill her, they're all just going to think you did it.
Well, unless I'm not there.
But there's already people who have seen someone who looks kind of like you.
No one actually had seen it, since
problem.
even Caldivar said they had no clue. They relied on us to find out.
Okay, well, what if she just has a letter written now that, like, upon my death, read this, like, Rin and Aran killed me?
Well, I'm sure she could do that if she wanted to, but if I had an alibi, that would probably disprove it.
Okay. Couple side questions here. I'm going to keep going with my thoughts because they're just flowing now. You know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this drink. I don't know. My brain's going on overdrive here. Combination of the minds here. When we were back in the day, you know, super powerful fighting, you know, death become it upon us. That horseman was killing everyone in sight, sure, but correct me if I'm wrong, was that one specifically looking for Tavaria, or like what was that situation?
Yes, she was.
Like to kill her?
No, we don't know.
Okay.
To find her, if nothing else.
Okay. Total. I've seen this play once where like there was this guy, he was like a rich guy, and like during the day, rich playboy philanthropist, and at nighttime he put on like this cape and a cowl and like was like, and like did this. So here's what I'm saying. Yeah, you seen it. Okay, so Okay, so like okay, but like the thing is like you never see those two in the room at the same time, right? So, I mean, Death was looking for Tavaria, but like, did we ever see Tavaria and Death at the same time, or like how did that work?
You think Tavaria is Death?
I mean, I'm not saying no to that assumption. I'm just saying like.
Well, didn't Chamber of Hearts guys say that they were channeling into like a vessel? He was talking about.
It was a project.
The project.
Yes.
He was talking about the project. Yeah, and he was talking about there being a vessel that they're trying to channel all this life essence into using necromancy. So what if the horsemen are the like product of this experiment and the vessels sort of dictate what the fuck's going on?
All right, see, okay, now we're pulling threads. Okay, I like where this conversation's going. So, like, the reason I brought that up is like, okay, so Death was looking for Tavaria, right? But I mean, again, I don't know if they were in the same room at the same time or we saw them together, but like, the best way to hide is right out in public, right? So, like, if you say, "Oh, I'm looking for Tavaria," but really you're in cahoots with them, you're just saying that as a thing where, like,
A cover.
it's a cover, right? As in, like, you're not really actually looking for her, you're just killing everyone along the process. But to make it look like they're still separate, it's like the good versus evil thing, when really behind the scenes are in cahoots. Like, I'm looking for Tavaria. Like that. Does that make sense when I say it like that? If I do the quotes thing.
I would agree with that, but they had us beaten so thoroughly and efficiently, I don't think there was any need for a cover at that point.
Yeah, there weren't really any witnesses alive when we arrived on the scene.
All I'm saying is, if Tavaria is so high, mighty, and powerful, when a horseman comes and starts fucking your town up, I mean, she didn't come to aid anyone. I mean, we rose to the challenge and started fighting everyone, but I mean, where was she to be seen? Why didn't she join the fight and help us a little bit?
That's because she's with the cult, and that's what she wants.
Right. That's what. Okay. So when I say the
bash
horseman's like,
skull.
"Where's Tavaria?" Right? I mean, does that? Was this like a one-time thing hiring the cock, or are they like seriously working together the whole time? That's where I was going with that conversation, I guess.
It's
Like
hard to know
one-time
with
thing.
all this guesswork, but I think it's one of those moments where we'll now take what we have, keep it in mind, try to use subtle words, maybe try to see if we can keep an eye out for any other things that she might do that could give more of a clear answer. And I think she's a little too powerful for us to try and handle by ourselves.
Okay. So I pull out some paper and parchment and quill while we're going. Okay, so good start, Rin. What do we know? Or
Well-
questions like how did Tavaria know about Rin? I think that's a pretty good question, right? I'm gonna write that one down. Okay, cool.
Possibly divine magics.
Okay.
Or else just a very good information network that was somehow able to follow Rin that night and trace him back to where he came from.
It's quite
Or
impossible.
Someone
I
saw
even
something question mark. Okay, go on.
I even misty stepped up in from the alley back into the room without even showing where I
Oh,
would
you didn't
be.
say that part.
I didn't leave the front door. I misty stepped down from the window, walked through the alleys to be inconspicuous. I took on the appearance of her before I even reached very well into it. Did the whole performance, ran outside. As I turned a corner, quickly shifted myself, let the clothes drop so they would remain there. It's cobbled stone. It's hard to find footprints. And then quickly adopted a human form and waited there casually. No one followed. No one came out. I proceeded back to the inn. Once more, teleported up.
Well, regardless, they know.
Well, she knows. And it's hard to prove otherwise, so she did this as another way to make a false assassination. I tried to lay her as a monster who was cursing priestesses, and she tried to make me look out as someone who wants to kill her.
But we are going to kill her.
Well, that remains to be seen if that's going
Not
to be
this year,
successful
I
or
don't
not.
think.
I will turn this mammoth around.
You wouldn't be.
We're not putting off the grung again.
I'm joking.
I
Still,
also wrote down Tavaria and Cock. Was it a one-time thing? Question mark. Right, for the Rin thing, right? Or are they an
A
allegiance?
one-night stand with the cock.
Is it a one-night stand with a cock, or is it a long allegiance for another plan? Right, like there's something else brewing.
Kane seemed to suggest that those of higher authority in the cult had the means to order and dictate. And since he had fallen so low, he also said he didn't like to deal with Tavaria. He would rather have kept his distance from her and to not have any dealing with her. So if she was to have him work for him, it sounds like it would have to have been an order rather than her trying to pay him. If he says, I don't want anything to deal with them, only a direct order would therefore override his personal objection.
Okay,
She
so
contacted someone higher up than him to make him do it.
Right. Okay, so one of two things. Tavaria goes to someone above Kane to have them do the thing. Not that she even knows that Kane's going to be the one doing it, just someone higher ranking that Tavaria knows, sub-level direct order, right? Or she's part of the cock, so she's higher than Kane and then does the order herself. So that's what we're saying? One of those two things? The one night stand are actually involved in the cock, right? The one night stand would be someone above Kane, or actually being involved in the cock and being above Kane to give the order herself.
I think we need more information.
Oh, yes.
So one of those two, though.
Certainly there is some connection with the cult and her. And if there's at least some connection, I'd assume that they have a bit more of a friendly relationship rather than a opposing one.
Or, question mark, okay, so how are we doing on notes so far? What else do we know? I still go back to the fight with Death, where I mean Tavaria never came to help. So it's either Death was looking for her specifically and it's a good versus evil thing, or was looking for Tavaria when the whole time in reality she was never coming to help in the first place, even though she was at the ceremony with Ivan, thank you. Ivan. I mean, she was at the podium.
Is the point that there also is the point to make that the fact that Death was looking for her means that she hadn't killed her yet, which means she was still alive, which means she doesn't have an alibi for any reason really why she didn't come out.
I'm going more air quotes on this one. I think it's a cahoots the whole way through. I think when Death comes, he's looking for Tavaria when that's not happening at all. But it's made to look that way, at least for the cover side of things. That's my opinion. I am certainly open to suggestions. But
well, we'll be keeping an eye out. I think we'll have to wait. Maybe right now, deal with the grung. Keep this in mind. See if anything piques our interest in that direction when the next we encounter her or the city itself.
All right. Excuse me. Oh, that needle got right down the wrong tube there. Okay. All right.
I mean, at the very least, we were able to, even though Rin was quasi-framed, we were able to provide the actual culprit, and Rin's name was not actually... He's not an actual criminal that's wanted at this point, so hopefully with Tavaria satisfied with her revenge at the moment. So we don't have to worry completely about looking over our backs for another incident. Plus, if she is as injured as she seems to want to convey, she probably will not be able to show herself for the remainder of the year while we are actually here.
Hold on. Now that actually brings up a really interesting point there, Urgra. So Rin actually mentioned a little bit ago where perhaps one could sway their own voice to sound like Tavaria and talk to Rin through this bird, right?
Potentially.
But if it really was Tavaria who openly came out and said, haha, gotcha kind of thing, it doesn't feel good, does it? I mean, it led us to this revelation, right? Why would she openly want to do that?
That also confused me too.
Whether it was the...
Which...
Go ahead.
I mean, either way, it shows that she has an association with the Cult of Chaos, which, given her position, is not something she would want to air out, particularly to someone who she views as her enemy, which, if no one else in this party, is Rin.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's the one night stand thing or in cahoots the whole time, I mean, that's almost like showing your hand there, right? I mean,
I would think so.
I mean, Rin knows, and I mean, I was standing there, so that I know, and now we all know. I mean, not to say that we can go parade in the streets. I don't know if anyone necessarily believe us, but if we could find some proof, maybe we don't even have to kill her. Maybe we could just
disgrace her,
publicly humiliate her, and instill me as the steward of the temple. I like where you're thinking.
Well, it will be hard for you to find proof of that yet, until maybe perhaps that truth chair comes into play. I don't know when that gets put to the courthouse.
You guys, I do know Kane's handwriting, though. I mean, you were talking before about if I die, look for Rin Anoran, Tavaria's journal said, you know? I mean...
Are you thinking of doing a play, like writing a letter to Tavaria in Kane's handwriting?
Maybe.
And maybe we could set up like a meeting in a secluded location.
Go on.
And if she comes, like following all of our orders, we could make one of us look like Kane and interrogate her like
remember,
that.
Kane's lower.
Kane's
down.
lower, though. Yeah, Kane's lower, so...
But what if we got some like juicy blackmail on it?
Do you have any?
I know that she wet her bed till she was 12, and
Just
that she
throwing out
knows
ideas.
about
I
the
know
horseman.
This is about you guys, but there's also that Kingsbane thing that she has over your head too.
I think only Kurtz knows that. So
Yeah, I'm
we can't
reminding
really bring
Dylan.
it up.
I'm not telling them about that.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, that's fine.
Not once.
We're gonna burn that
All right,
bridge.
so check it out, right? Now, again, just future thoughts, you know, again, if we want to put a pin in it, we got Grung to save.
Tomorrow, Kurt's problem.
Yeah. Year 9 Kurt's problem. Just throwing it out there. I mean, maybe, you know, the pen is mightier than the sword here. If we could find something that I could write a letter as Kane saying, unless you want this out, here are my demands, and we set up a meeting.
When we get to it. Out of character, I get Zone of Truth next year.
And I can also tell when someone's lying, but that doesn't mean that anyone will believe me.
Sick. Well, that would be the thing, wouldn't it? We'd have to have someone present to view this.
I mean, if we
what's
were
it
going
called?
to do
What's
this,
the word I'm looking for?
Meeting?
A sting.
Rendezvous.
Admitting. What's another word for admitting? That's the word I'm looking for.
Confession.
That's the one. Thank you, Rin.
We got there in the end.
Because, you know, I have ways to see very far and hear very far away, but there's no way to, you know, besides the pen, besides the quill and the parchment, to really document anything auditorially, or does anyone know of any way to do that magically?
I can call a meeting with her.
Well, she's going to be on her guard, considering she knows that you're associated with me.
That's true too.
She will come and see me.
All right. Well, it's still. This is something that we could deal with perhaps next year. We should focus on the Grung now, and I'm very concerned about the one steering the carriage, and I don't know if he knows how to get there.
He knows.
State
Grung
of
never
night?
forgets.
Take as much
A
time. as you
Grung
guys
and
need.
an elephant never forget.
I mean, there's
the
gonna be
elephant's
points
never
where
been this way.
There's gonna be points where Brittany would need to like get some water or stop and eat. You know, so it could be a pit stop while you guys are talking too. So.
I bought 7 days worth of food. I will take 3 days worth of that with us.
Okay.
Very easy. She's not going to stay
That
good.
shit's expensive.
It is.
Well, I mean, you can let her graze.
Because
I can let her graze, but if we're traveling, she takes a long time to graze.
At the end of the week, we got to get there, get back, teleport back to Candoria to get her back to her pen, because then we're going to poof out. So we got to make sure we can do that. All right. Well, hey, I got to be honest. Starting this conversation, not looking all that great. Ending it, looking kind of interested. I think we could really set something up. Some way to document it, maybe auditorially or something. Some sort of magic way to get her voice, get her words, or have her in front of someone of mass importance to, you know, be a witness, a silent witness or something.
I've got an idea, but I'll keep working on my plan. And once we deal with the Grung and we're in a better position, we can discuss how to deal with the Tavaria situation. Maybe we can even ask Alundra about this.
Sure. Good point. Kurtz Gladskin. We are going to see her soon, aren't we? Maybe she'll actually have information. Probably not.
I doubt
but maybe
it.
she would.
I get that 1,000-yard stare when I think about asking Alundra questions. Just say, yep.
She's staring off at the
Stand there in
Andromeda
space.
galaxy.
Over here.
Yeah, when you think about
Boy,
it, that
no
one
answers.
tall crystal looks an awful lot like a middle finger when you think of asking her questions.
From a certain angle, you're right. It like slowly spins to who's ever talking.
Mhm.
Just slowly. Well, that's a canon thought for me now. I don't know if it's true.
I'm glad
but in
we're the
my mind it is.
saviors. I'm glad we're the saviors of Candoria.
All right. Well, lots to think about on that one. That was okay. Not that I'm all that surprised. I haven't really liked Tavaria from the get-go, but just throwing it out there. That's my 2 cents.
She's hardly a sympathetic individual.
The bedwetting thing is
I don't think that's enough to be an incriminating fact.
true, by the way. I mean, I figure you'd get a kick out of it.
Well, aren't most of your infants incapable of holding in their needs?
Urine?
Yes. I was trying to be a bit more.
It's a human thing. We make fun of people who can't control their bladders while they sleep. You wouldn't get it.
It just seems trivial, but all right. You know, if you find humor in it, I suppose you've
The
got to find
medical
something
condition. Why would you make fun of that?
Because Kurtz is a terrible person.
I know, it's fantastic.
Lots of times when people pass out early, you know, when you're having a party or drinking and someone leaves their shoes on, a little prestidigitation, makes them pee themselves. It's great. It's a fun time.
That's what keeps the ghosts away.
Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So, what? We can camp out, right? In the morning, Rin can make one of his famous breakfasts, right? Should we like hunt for something this evening so Rin has something for the morning, or how does that work?
I still have provisions on me, but if you wish to help make sure I don't deplete my my sources, that's fine.
I'll wake up early tomorrow.
Were you guys wanting to get a long rest in before hitting the...
Well...
Yeah.
If I may. We teleport to the Lions. We leave the Lions at 7. Instead of it being a full day of travel, it's half, right? So 12 hours. So if we leave at 7, if we do half of it till like literally midnight, if you want to do that, we could set up camp at nighttime and then...
Ooh, I like it.
Leave from 8.
Yeah.
That's 8 o'clock.
That way you guys can kind of get
We'll
back
have
on a
6.
track for last day. Yeah.
So we get to the thing by 2. Does that make sense math-wise for everyone?
Should be earlier than that.
Yeah, it should be earlier. If we made camp at 8, we should arrive there around 8 a.m. Oh no, sorry. And add the other 8, yeah. Unless we slept while the cart was going.
I like that plan. Let's go with that plan. Let's just
Yeah.
head into the middle of the night. We'll set up camp. We'll set up a watch. Wait for the tigers to catch up.
Okay.
Everyone takes a long rest and
So we attack not at dawn. We attack at noon.
When they least expect it.
Sun is high in the day. We could tell the tigers that before we left. Like, we're trying to attack at noon, so hurry up. Don't fucking dilly-dally.
Certainly. When we arrive there, I'll send Orion to do some aerial scouting.
Yeah, Sean, we were talking about that. Some things we could do since we're going to be there ahead of time. Do you want us to tell you all the stuff that we thought of that we could do while we're waiting for tigers?
Yeah, and there was something I was wanting to do, so this actually works out perfect. So let's just... Okay. You guys go ahead. I don't want to... This is a really good conversation to have. So you guys can see to the end, and then I'll just wait, and I'll take over when you guys are done.
All right, so Kurtz has a map of this area.
Pretty much.
Did we do that before somehow?
We did that with Alfred. Grung had explained it to him using blocks, and then I did a cartography check to pretty much make it more realistic.
Cool, because I don't mind burning the spell slot to clairvoyantly look over top of this place, and if anything needs fixed, I mean, I could do that.
Well, let's have Grung point out on the map where the spawning pits are.
Okay. Battle plan time?
To help us at least figure out where we need
Because
to go.
I know Urger was going to do her thing. I was going to do clairvoyant eye if we want to, just to get the aerial view, like I've done before. Rin had stuff he wanted to do, and Kurtz, I don't know what Kurtz wanted to do. But we all had like one thing that we talked about on the break that we all wanted to do.
Oh, I wasn't involved in that. I didn't know what we were doing.
Rin was the shields, Urger was the pass without a trace, mine was the clairvoyance, and I didn't know if you had something. Just scout, I guess, or
montage.
Yeah, can I use the map in Grung to sort of zero in on these spawning pools?
Yeah, what I can do is before you guys get there, I'll using Finley's clairvoyant eye and you with the map. I'll put both of you on the map in the center. You guys won't move, and you guys can kind of get a little recon.
All right,
and
so
then,
I'll burn a spell slot then. I can do that.
Yeah, you don't have to do it now,
Okay.
but yeah.
Done. Yep.
Okay.
Done.
Okay.
And Urger, you're doing your pass without a trace for everyone.
Yeah, and once we get into the actual Hollywog territory.
Sweet. Cool. And Rin's making shields, and then okay, cool. That's all. I know we just talked about prep work before the Tigers got there. That's all. Just
let's go commit regicide.
Sweet. I'm here for it.
All right then.
So has everybody got everything off their chest for now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So you guys can start setting up the camp for when the Tigers catch up. They're not going to be too far behind, but they'll be a little ways back, so you can set it up. And then maybe each of you will kind of, once the main camp is prepared, I mean, they can set up their own shit, but just the general, like, common area stuff you guys can knock out, and then your own personal things. It's a lot to think about and to kind of decompress. Once all of the common stuff is done, the four of you will you'll all be in the same vicinity, but each kind of doing your own chores, and be kind of separated. Let's see. Everyone roll a percentile die, and we'll go highest number first. Kurt 74, Finley 51, Rin 73, and Urga 49. So we go to Kurt's first. All right. So I don't know. Pick a random task that you'd be doing solo for the camp that Kurtz would do.
For the camp, what Kurtz would do.
Like firewood, fetching water, hunting.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Kurtz would probably just be on the lookout, like thinking
doing some
about
patrols,
how to deal with the situation. Yeah, maybe go on a walk.
Okay.
Do a little more deeper scouting down the road. Yeah.
Okay. So we're saying it was midnight-ish, so it's going to be dark. But you can be going down some game trails and kind of just maybe getting firewood or something, and but doing a perimeter check, maybe make sure it's all secured. While you're out and about and kind of pondering about all the conversations and everything going on and reflecting on all the stuff that's happened this year, and you've been through some heavy shit, and this year's been a lot of go, and you've reflected a little bit on this, but a lot of the times when it started to surface up, you kind of pushed it back down and pushed it back down. And in this moment, it's going to kind of well up. Is it well or whelm? How many other Connor?
Emotion
wells up, but it can overwhelm you.
Okay, yeah, so it'll well up inside of you. And you'll kind of not get lost, but start losing yourself kind of in the darkness, and maybe lose track of time a little bit. And your thoughts will kind of go back and forth between, like, you've known Tavara for so long. There's been that bittersweet relationship, a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of things going on with that. And as you're kind of maybe stopping and kind of sitting on a large rock, just kind of just staring out into the darkness, you'll see one of your ghosts start to kind of manifest. But it's going to be kind of like an incorporeal way. So it's like there, but not there. And it'll just be kind of like a a sergeant or a Joe, one of your guys, from way back when that probably died under your watch that has been clinged onto you. It'll be kind of walking down the dark game trail heading towards you. It always seems like from like the bus line up, there's always something kind of blocking the top of it, like a tree branch or another rock or something, as it's kind of coming its way closer towards you. You can never see the face. You know it's one of your ghosts. But you haven't seen the face yet.
Kurtz is angry. So Kurtz is going to storm towards it on the game trail, saying, "Why are you out of your post, soldier? You will be lashed for this." And just ranting and raving about because with the glove, part of it was that he had to kill all of his legion again to sort of master it. So he assumes that he's achieved control over it all. So to see one sort of out and about is kind of infuriating.
Sure, yeah. He's he's left his post probably. So as you kind of get up angrily to correct this soldier who's abandoned his post, which is an absolute no-go, as you get up there and you kind of get around the corner, you clear around the tree branch that was obscuring the face, and it's going to actually not be a defined face. It's going to be more of a silhouette of this ghost figure. So all the way up to the neck is this soldier, but from the neck up, you're going to notice a jester hat on the top of the head. And as you come forward with your weapon or a backhand for some reprimand, you're going to see it like over dramatically kind of like flinching back and like putting its arms up, not saying anything, but it's it's going to be very Harlequin, the movements, court jestery, super exaggerated, maybe like a stage, medieval stage performer who's 300% acting. So it's gonna be like the huge body jerk pulling back and like trying to stop your reprimand.
Is it similar to how the puppets act?
It's actually going to be reminiscent of the Mad One.
All right. I'll lower the hammer.
Okay.
Well, I did offer some sort of agreement with your master, but I suppose that I thought he'd wait a little longer. Very well.
And you'll see this ghost soldier with this jester hat on step towards you, and his arm is going to start reaching out for your arm.
Fuck it, yeah.
Okay, and you'll see the kind of ghostly arm kind of pass through, and it's going to touch onto your gauntlet. And as it does, it's going to go through you. It doesn't touch you. They did beat the shit out of you back then, so you do know they can touch you sometimes, but this one's going to go through you. And as it does, you're going to see the arcanic fire magical energy inside the gauntlet, like that molten core magma inner part that glows when you activate it. It's going to involuntarily start to activate as this ghost arm passes through it, and you can almost feel it, like for just that moment of the arm passing through, it's just going to be just less than a second, but it's going to maybe feel like a couple minutes to you, as it's like just super slow motion as it's passing through. And as that's happening, there's going to be this connection with the Mad One, and you're going to be able to speak with him, and you'll hear some menacing laughter. Kurt, how are you enjoying this new tool of yours?
It serves its purpose, and it allowed me to reconquer my men, so
I've noticed you've used it several times. How does it feel? Please, I have to know. It was made specially for you, my friend.
It's a tool, Jester. Nothing more. You may devour my friends and my companions' minds and hearts, but you will not sway mine.
Who says I'm trying to sway you, Kurtz? I just enjoy observing you and giving you things to interact with for my enjoyment, of course.
Well, then how are you enjoying the show?
I'm missing how you used to be, Kurtz. You've changed in ways that I don't necessarily enjoy, Kurtz. I think there's parts of you that want to come back.
Kurtz Glaskin is dead, Jester. Everything from before is gone.
And you'll see like an over dramatic, like the puppet is not gonna move, but in like this, this is I guess it'd be more of a mind connection. So it's gonna be a very flustered, taken back noises. But it seems that you do enjoy using it, do you not? The power, Kurtz. I know that power is something you crave.
It is power because I have control over it. It is strong, without a doubt, and I appreciate fighting alongside my men again. But it will not take me.
Is control that important to you, Kurtz?
Control? No. But I don't like you and I don't trust you.
That's fair.
No.
What could I do to earn your trust, Kurtz? I do like playing games. I can view this as a game that I can play. How can I earn your trust?
Quid pro quo.
Interesting.
You ask something of me, anything you would like, and I will answer 100% truthfully. And I ask something of you, and you will answer 100% truthfully.
Oh, this sounds interesting. Information is definitely a source of power, Kurtz, and I do enjoy power, and I think you do too. This seems like a fair trade. But how do I know you'll actually tell me the truth? You could just be telling me anything you think I want to hear. How can I know for certain, Kurtz, and how can you know that I am also telling the truth? Shall we make a pact? A supernatural one, do you say? Where we are both sated to only tell the truth. What do you think of that? Oh, this sounds so much fun, Kurtz.
All right. Deal.
All right, and you'll feel this almost like a very sharp pain that's gonna just last for just a moment, and then it's going to spread to like this dull throbbing that just kind of emanates from your core, like wherever the soul would be, and it'll kind of like phase out to all the all the way out to the extremities, but then you'll kind of like almost like a morphine drip. After that, it'll kind of just wash over you as like this pleasurable sensation of then followed by numbness, but you still have control. This is all in your mind still, but like your consciousness version of your body, and you can feel like this what you're not sure what it is, but this pact or whatever is sealed through, and so you'd be very confident that you're agreeing, you are sure that you have to tell the truth and that he is going to as well.
All right.
Who's going to go first, Kurtz?
Well, as we agreed, I gave you the opportunity.
Okay. There's so many things I could ask you, but I know what it is that I want to know. Kurtz, I have been watching you very closely, and there was something very unfortunate that happened to you, and I did try to warn you. I do want you to know, Kurtz, that I do have a special interest for you, and I was trying to help you. It led to a decision that you had to make, one that was very difficult and painful for you, Kurtz, and as much as I like having fun, it did hurt me, Kurtz. It did. My heart broke for you. What I want to know, Kurtz, sated to tell the truth in this answer, of course. If there was a way to undo that decision, what would you do? What price would you pay to have a Takesies Bexies? Take your time, Kurtz. I will wait. And the hand is, in your real body, your eyes, starting to pass through.
How do you mean reverse that choice?
If the effects of that choice could be undone, something you couldn't do on your own, but if it could happen, not saying it could, but if it could, Kurtz, what price would you pay?
Kurtz will let out a very deep and very tired sigh. You will not tempt me, Jester.
All right.
The hyena of the West is dead.
Okay, so you were sated to tell the truth, but you can answer however you like. You didn't answer the question, so I'm going to rule it that the condition of you not answering the question, which is fine. What it's going to do is just terminate the link, and the passing through on the gauntlet is going to go, and you'll be back in your body, and the ghost that was there is going to kind of fizzle out, and you'll hear kind of in your mind the laughing of the mad one as it disappears, and you standing alone in the darkness in this trail, realizing this was it a dream? Was it a hallucination? You're not sure. But you remembered every detail of it.
Kurtz will just...
But it was just a split second.
Very tiredly begin gathering up the firewood he probably threw down and head back to camp and not talk about it.
Sure. Fair enough. Okay. Next is Rin. So what were you wanting to do, my friend?
So
food, probably?
Yeah, I was going to say, considering mine is more of like in the morning things, I would guess when camp is set up, he would literally be doing the routine of setting up his tent, probably with an unseen servant doing it after he ritually cast it and having it done. It's nice for him to just go in and meditate. Then probably in the morning he would do the... I mean, he'd keep Orion to circle around to keep an eye on the place, just to help, in the watch, whoever's doing watch cycles and stuff like that.
Okay.
But he would be setting up. Are the tiger? They're coming in afterwards. They're going to arrive a little bit around.
After you guys are all done, yeah, that's when they'll come in.
Okay, but they'll probably know where our campsite is. We're kind of in the same...
you're all the same.
Okay.
You guys wouldn't have been that far, but I'm giving enough time to have a distance to where you guys could do something without them seeing.
Just follow the mammoth. Just follow the mammoth tracks.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Did anyone gather any other kind of food or things while
I think
I was
Urga would have gone
sleeping?
Urga would have gone hunting because she knows we have 16 tiger people to feed, so she would have actually gone out hunting to get like a pretty big kill, so they wouldn't have to hunt after they did a big trek themselves.
Okay. Yeah. So whatever Urga does do, Rin is going to make sure to take what she's got, make sure to make a meal for them as well as the additional 16 that are coming along the way afterwards. So when they arrive at the camp, there'll be little, basically, meals for them to have as their dinner.
Okay. Well, go
However
ahead.
you want to,
even though it's Rin's
guess it for
turn
them.
right now, let's go ahead and have Urga roll a survival check real quick with advantage.
Sure. Advantage. Survival.
31.
31.
Hot dog. All right, there
Come
is
on.
a lot of game, large game. What's you're gonna have no problem with this, and it's probably gonna be good for you to get out some pent up aggression of getting a good clean kill and What do you want?
And we're in a swamp environment.
It's gonna be jungly turning into swamp. You guys aren't quite into the swamp territory yet.
Find the boar that we need.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Actually, we can do a big old giant wild boar.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna have these
The
massive,
size of a Saint Bernard.
massive tusks that are pulling out. It's got that big. It's gonna be like a dark brown color with some light color streak highlights down it. But then it's not a mane, but that tuft of hair on the back of a boar is gonna be this dark midnight black hair. One of the eyes is like all like swelled over from probably another boar fight. You can see kind of a gouge across his face, and it only has one eye, so it was pretty easy to once you found it, to track it down, and did a clean arrow to it to take it down, and it's gonna have a ton of meat on it, enough for feeding everybody for the night. Probably some for the morning.
All right, can you work with that?
Oh, are you disturbing me? Okay. I'll probably just go. What? On? Do what? Just outside.
I mean, I'm the one with the blindfold on, Ren. I'm referring to the giant boar. I just.
Well, you had to get me out of the tent, Urgra. I'm set up in here for the evening. I didn't realize you were going hunting. That would be superb. Are you going to dress it?
Yeah, I can take care of that. Looks like the tigers aren't back yet, so there's nothing else to do. You know where? Have you seen Kurtz? I haven't seen him in a while.
I just set up the tent and started to meditate to trance, so no, I've...
Screaming off in a field somewhere. Face me, demon!
I had really no idea that he even left.
I'll keep an ear out for him.
Alright, well, Orion's flying overhead. If Kurtz comes around, he'll probably...
Is there any particular way you want me to divide this guy up, or...?
Probably separate the fatty ones, the bacon side, so that for the breakfast, and then just however you typically dress a boar, I suppose, if you've known how to do this.
All right.
I usually have the ingredients prepared for me. I don't really do the other part.
You should definitely give the boar head and cloak to Grung. His dad.
I was actually wanting to make him a helmet out of the skull of the boar.
You know, his Daddy Kurtz had a bear at one time that he was wearing, so I think it's only fitting Grung wears a fucking boar. But
well, that's down to you, Urgra.
Well, it's gonna be there.
It's almost ASMR
Urgra
with you
will
up
be
on the mic like that, Kyle. My nipples got hard. That's all I
Urgra
can
will
say.
start carving up the animal, and she'll take care to try and get the skin to be usable if anyone wants it. So yeah, she'll do the dark meat, light meat. I don't know if that works for a pig or not, but you know, she tries to follow Ren's instructions.
Okay, so you're gonna go off and do the dressing for that for Ren. So that's what we'll use for your thing. So remind me, pig. When we get back to you, Ren. So your portion will be to once she's back, preparing it all for to make the actual meals.
Yeah, well, yeah, when she's got all the stuff clean and done in the morning shift, when I wake up, basically, or do my stuff after I've rested, I will do a traditional look around, gather a place where I think there's a good spot for me to fabricate some of the trees from the jungle or the woods nearby, and use that to create the long... It's one long plank with spikes in it, and then I will use an unseen servant, and I'll conjure a saw so we can saw them down to make 4 shields with the spikes in it.
Okay.
Leaving them there for the tabaxi to pick up the reserves.
Okay. Give me a survival check as well.
Survival is 0. Okay. Raw roll.
19. Look through your manifesto.
Looking through the manifesto.
The tree section.
In my tree section.
Pick a tree.
Yep.
Roll a d4. That's how many portions of a sap I will let you find. I'll let you go ahead and choose.
Great.
So go ahead and figure out what you want to do, and that'll be the portion for yours for the night. Just let me know whenever you pick what you want to do. Roll a d4 whenever you're ready, and that's the portions. Okay.
I'll pick Betula lenta, aka back birch. Oh, only one.
Okay.
But there you go.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
It is the one that gets dwarves drunk.
It is, yes. Which is not easy to do. Okay, next we go to Finley.
Yo.
Finley, what chore would you be doing for the camp?
I mean, everyone's got tents set up, and Irva's hunting, and Kurtz is scouting. I mean, I really don't have anything to do. Rin's making
Firewood?
food. I'm just. What's that?
Firewood, water.
Well, Kurt said he was
You play-
firewood.
You could play with Grunk.
I was thinking just playing background music, really, just kind of like play, just to kind of keep everyone in high spirits and stuff.
Okay.
Since we're out by ourselves.
All right, so you maybe pull out one of the removable soft cushions from inside of the carriage and set it up. Maybe prop it up on a large stick/log. You got a good...
I just play the acoustic version of Eye of the Tiger. It's like
Perfect. You set up next to the campfire that's already been set up, and it's all dark around where you guys are waiting for the tigers to just show up here pretty soon. Everyone's kind of out doing their own thing, and so you're kind of just sitting next to the fire, just you and the crackles and the sparks coming up from each of the twigs as the fire's consuming them. You can hear the pop psh, as little embers start to kind of flick up, and you're playing your balalika and just kind of sitting there staring into the fire, feeling the warmth just kind of dance across your face as you're kind of playing the song, and maybe kind of improv a couple chords, and like come up with a remix version. You're like, ooh, you know what, this is, and you're just kind of in this groove. And once you get it down and you're playing it and you're kind of staring into the fire, you'll see, or you're gonna hear the voice coming from the pit of this fire as you're playing the music. And that awesome remix chord that you get down is going to keep repeating as your fingers kind of stop and you're staring into this fire, and everything else in the camp is going to kind of stop motion, but the fire is going to keep crackling, and the music is going to, that one chord is going to keep repeating. That awesome remix chord is going to keep playing even though your fingers have stopped. And from inside of the fire, you're going to hear laughing, menacing laughing. Finley. Oh, Finley.
Holy shit. I did not expect you here. What are you doing out here in the middle of the swampy woods here? What?
Finley, there's nowhere that you go that I won't follow. You know you're my favorite halfling bard, of course.
Oh, all right. Well,
What is this music you are playing?
It's always good to have a number one fan, I guess. Just trying out some new riffs. Always trying to get better. Always trying to step, one up myself.
And as you look down, you can hear the music coming from the balalika, but your fingers aren't strumming the strings anymore. But it's continuing to come out.
That's interesting.
Oh, it looks like you're more talented than I remembered, Finley. How are you doing this?
I don't know. As I look down and I'm not strumming music, but it's still playing. Not a clue, but sometimes I even impress myself. I feel like you want something. As I look back at the fire and question it.
Finley, why would you assume that I want something every time I talk to you? Maybe I want to see if you need something.
If I need something? Oh, well, kind of ponder for a minute. I mean, off the top of my head, actually there is something. You crazy mad one, you.
I would love to help you out, Finley. You and I are we're old pals. We're chums, you and I.
Right. Of course. Okay. So, we're, we've had a busy week. Lots of here and there and traversing across the continent and going everywhere. How I'm collecting these, and I will, in my mind, conjure minor illusion to show a ball, even whatever. Somehow things are working. I'm playing music, and I don't know how. So
maybe the music that you're not playing is going to kind of summon it out of the. Yeah, sure.
Yep,
those kind of floating in your pot. And Finley, why do you have those? Well,
that's certainly an interesting question. Do you know what these are?
Put them away, Finley. I don't like them.
Oh,
I
all
like
right.
games, but this isn't a fun game that I want to play, Finley.
And I will get it a little closer to the fire just to be a dick about it.
Finley, stop! It burns
Okay.
us.
I'm sorry. All right. I'll pull it back. I'll pull it. It was just an illusion, it wasn't real. But I mean, what? So wait, how do you know what those are?
You kind of hear a
You
sniff.
do know what those are.
You
Your
kinda hear
silence speaks more than words.
Like a sad sniff. Finley?
I'm not trying to upset you, man. I didn't know you were gonna have that reaction. Are you all right?
I thought we were friends, Finley. Why would you do such a thing?
Oh, we are friends. We're good friends. I didn't know. I
We're
won't pull
friends,
out
Finley?
again.
And you'll hear instantly
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
good. And you're back. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, I was going to ask you a question about those, but not to upset you. So we'll change subject. Change the subject. I mean, really, the big thing here is I don't know if you know what we're heading out to embark on tomorrow, but we're trying to save some frogs. That's kind of fun, right?
Ooh. Is this an opportunity for my gift to come and assist you?
Well, I mean, perhaps. I've been trying to
You're becoming quite the puppet master. I'd like to say that you're maybe learning from the best.
Well, that's fair. That's a fair point. I couldn't. Speaking of your gift that you gave to me, I couldn't help but notice you like to give gifts. I've seen some other interesting pieces, and I couldn't help but notice when I tried to use my strings that they don't necessarily work all the time.
Well, maybe you haven't utilized the gift I've given you enough, Finley.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, if you want to become a great puppet master like myself, you have to practice, Finley, and use it more often.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, how about you? I mean, how are you? How are things? Do you need...
Oh, Finley, thank you for asking.
I feel like you don't get that question asked enough. No one ever really asks how the mad one's doing, Everyone's always...
I think we are becoming friends, Finley. I really believe it.
Right.
I'm sitting down now. You can't tell this, but you made me sit down. I'm taken back by this.
Oh, well.
I have to tell you, Finley, I'm very, very old. Very, very old. And it's been a while since I've actually had any friends, Finley.
That's just terrible. I mean... Go on.
So I do hope that we can actually become friends and really mean it. I do intend well for you. You and your friends, you have grabbed my attention, and I have this burning urge to be invested in your story. And I want to help, but I feel this hesitation you all have for the gifts. Conversations that you have amongst each other about not utilizing them, and honestly, Finley, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to use them. Do you not like them?
Well,
I do remember a point of time where you didn't even carry the mask, Finley. That saddened me.
But between you and me, I look around and obviously everything's in slow motion and no one's around to hear us.
Yep.
I mean, between you and me, I'd use it all the time if I could. I just have to, play the part that I don't really want to use it. You know how that goes. I can't just let them know that I'm not going to use it.
A legendary bard? Not wanting to do what he thinks is best?
Well, not to upset my friends, but I still, want to do what I want to do without...
I think a true friend would support the decisions and the directions you want to go in life. I am here.
You're right.
Trying to support you, Finley.
You're right on that. You're right. They should support me in my decision to want to do what I want to do.
There you go.
You are old and wise, aren't you?
Finley, stop it. No, keep going.
I should just wear it all the time. That's what I really should do.
Finley, I love the sounds of that. And as the Balalika is now gone from your hands and the mask is resting in your in your palms, the music is still playing, and you can kind of feel this almost like a suction. It's not like gonna force itself upon you, but you can feel this draw of this mask.
And I'll say, as I'm like putting it up, I'm like, well, the only thing is though that if I wear it all the time, no one's gonna be able to see my beautiful face. That's a problem.
Well, the choice is yours, Finley. This gift is not forced upon you, but to become a great puppet master, you have to use it. You have to practice. And can I just say one last thing? I'm running out of time, Finley. I can't stay here much longer.
Sure, between friends, go ahead.
I'm proud of you.
What? What? What do you mean?
I said I'm proud of you!
What, for what? I mean, I'm just, just me.
There's a reason why you're everyone's favorite halfling bard.
Well,
as
okay.
everything around starts to slowly start to speed up, and the mask that was in your hand will kind of phase out back to the Balika, and you're continuing the strums as a loud pop of the fire will go off and kind of put you back into where you left off as you were staring into the fire.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. And last but not least, Connor, you're always going last. I don't know why. Player 4, last in the roll.
I was saying earlier, Connor is very jungle warfare tonight when he has it like as a bandana around.
Yeah,
his head.
it looked like very Rambo-ish.
Like,
yeah. Awesome. All right, so I believe we said pig is where we're going to take off. So after you
Pig and hunting, yeah.
Okay, so you found the boar, and we're talking to Rin, and then you go off to prepare it, section it off as the different parts like he had requested. And as you're kind of, you're skinning it and separating the head, and as you're going to cut that part off, you're going to see on the face of this boar, right as you make that final cut, that last bit of the spinal column, you run your dagger through it and you kind of dislodge it. There's going to be this loud crack of the cartilage that's just popping and the blood kind of squirting out, and the head will kind of flip over and kind of go like the bloody side down onto the ground as the boar head is staring up at you. And through your bandana, as you're staring at this, you can see the mouth of the boar, this huge grin, is just going to spread out, super exaggerated, going like ear to ear of the boar, and you're going to see the mouth start moving on this. It's starting to open and close a little bit, like it's kind of like if you just got punched in the jaw and you kind of have your hand on your jaw, kind of like trying to reposition it. You're seeing it kind of like move back and forth.
Awesome.
Urga continues what she's doing.
Okay. Are you trying to ignore it? This thing is dead. You kill it yourself, and you just cut off its head, and you can now start to see its mouth starting to animate.
I would be personally concerned.
You know what, Urga? She's using her knife. She's actually gonna throw it at the boar's head when it first starts moving. She thinks it's like necromancy or something. What you could be?
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Stuff. Dagger. Oh, there it is. 24.
All right, give me some damage.
I go for its one good eye.
Okay.
You stab that dead boar's head. You get it, Urgra. You get it good. Talk back to me, boar's head, with your mouth.
There's blood.
Is its mouth still moving?
So with the 24, it's gonna, the dagger you just did, you just snapped it off. It's gonna roll over. You're gonna start to see, and it's just gonna, right as it goes to start to talk, the dagger is gonna flip end over end and pierce right into the one good eye and you're going to see the jaw as it just is going to start to speak. It's going to like lose the life that it had into it, and the jaw will like kind of just fall down, and the tongue will kind of hang out of the mouth, and the lifeless head will just be laying there. It seems
And
like
that
whatever
goes to
was
retrieve the
about to
dagger.
happen, okay? As you put one hand on the head, as you pull it out, some of the eye juices will kind of squirt, maybe kind of get on your hand a little bit. And as you pull it out, you
She's
can...
already probably very gross.
Sure. As you pull it out, you can feel whatever life was still in the head is disappeared, and it is back to being dead again.
Yeah, she'll like feel it to see if there's any warmth or anything left in it, or
Nope. It's gonna be dead. Looks like you throwing the dagger at the eye stopped it from happening.
gonna pick up the boar's head, and she's gonna walk over to the fire and throw it in.
Okay. As you toss it in there, it'll kind of knock over some of the logs that are stacked up, and it'll start to... You can see all the hairs on it start to... Oh, you have the blindfold on. Yeah, it'll start to singe up and burn. All right, yeah. So you can go back to carving up the boar. All right, I think that was everybody. So, Urgra, you can get the portions brought over to Rin. Rin can start cooking them. Kurtz, you'll come back from your walk, and Finley, right as you come back to, and that last chord you strum, as you're looking around, you can see Kurtz coming from the distance right as Urgra's walking up with these, sections of quartered meat pieces that she's handing over to Rin. So you're all there together at the fire.
Oh, well, hey, okay. What? Didn't really see all you come up there. I was in the zone. I was really in the zone there. Strong.
Zone. Not a sponsor.
Yet.
Yet. Is everyone all right? Everyone good?
Trying to trance in here.
Yeah, I was just cleaning a boar. I was thinking the Tabaxi may be tired and not in the mood to gather their own food after an entire day of moving. Just ignore that. So, I got a pig.
I can see that, yeah. Okay.
My wife and brother are dead.
Wait, what?
Okay, that's a weird conversation twist starter. What do you mean? What?
Gertz will sit down next to the fire, lay down his hammer, and sort of be playing around with the clinky metal gauntlet. Yes. They're dead.
Was this part of the timeline you were expecting, or is...
No.
Oh, no, they died. Your wife was
Al-
supposed to die in year 5.
Alex, my second in command, transferred her soul from the original timeline that we came from, inhabiting the body of Alex in this timeline and effectively taking her over. She then gathered my legion and instilled their souls as well, and so they remembered how they died under my command as well. They kidnapped my wife, my brother, and my children and held them hostage.
We saw part of your legion. They were keeping us away when you were let off by yourself, so...
Rin parts the
you
curtain.
met this Alex person?
Say what?
What's
Are
this
those what the
tea
two
I
bodies
smell,
were?
bro?
Are those what the two bodies were?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell us before, and why are you doing it now when you're interrupting my trance?
Rin would ask that question. In that
Urgra
way.
picks up a rock and throws it, not at Rin, but like 3 feet away from him.
Well, you missed. And so why are you doing this?
Fantastic. I love you, AJ. You're amazing.
Oh, that's so good.
Well, I didn't tell you then because I was processing the emotional trauma of burning my wife and brother to death.
He also is meeting his daughters for the first time in many years.
Alright, but why now then?
Why tell you now?
Yes.
Because I have some things working in the back. Things I've been planning for many years. Some of those things are going to be coming to fruition soon.
All right. Well, I mean, just out of sheer curiosity, you dropped a little bit of knowledge there, where you said someone named Alex came from where to do what? One more time with that.
Alex was my second in command in the Legion. She was also my lover for some time. And yes, during the fall of my Legion, when we were trapped, dark
You
look
ate her.
for a moment. Yes, you all know the story at this point.
Yes, you told us, yes.
Yes.
Right, but that was then. I mean, this is.
She explained to me that she managed to follow over and that she remembered everything. She then gathered the souls of my legionnaires, and they also remembered everything. Even though those things couldn't have happened yet in this timeline.
Well, if no one else is going to say it out loud, I'll say it. How did she do all of that? Like, what? How do you do that? I mean, I know how we traverse. Does she does it the same way, or?
Well, to be fair, I wasn't in a talking mood.
Okay, all right, okay, that's fine. You've had some time to think about it, though. Did you figure it out? Like, how was she able to do that?
No idea. But I
Was it with
assume...
that?
Like, check Kurtz. I want to
Go for
insight
it,
check him. Must be real poopy. How do I have a 0 on insight? That just doesn't sound like me. Oh well.
Seems like I'm
He's
telling
telling the truth.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Was it with the gauntlet?
She had the gauntlet when we fought. I took it from her afterwards. Essentially, I had a choice. Sacrifice my daughters or sacrifice my wife and brother. You all were separated. I had no other options, so I had to make a choice.
Well, she sounds like a bundle of joy. She sounds like an absolute terrible person.
She didn't used to
Make
be.
someone do that.
Well, to be fair, she remembered being eaten.
I believe you said she was dead when that happened, so she.
She
couldn't
was
really
dead.
remember
She remembered and she felt it.
That's not how death.
I mean,
works.
I've heard of a woman scorned before, but she literally traversed through time and space to come find you and raise your dead Legion army to seek revenge upon you and your family. I mean, how did she do that? That's crazy talk.
I didn't want to tell you all this information at first, because it's worrying. But, given the current circumstances and how things are progressing, I figured it was time to lay some things out, so to say.
What exactly are your plans?
It's a secret.
So you wake us up, or me specifically, just to say this one secret. We should know it because your plans are coming to fruition.
Think about this, Rin. If other souls can traverse from the timeline that we have come from, retaining the knowledge of that life like we have, then I have a theory. We know that there's two sides to this, order and chaos. Why are we assuming that just the order, Alundra, the goddesses, all that have this power to move souls from timelines and have their champions? I have never had to fight as hard as I have against Alex, and she was not that strong in my timeline.
All right. Well, then, what does this have to do with a plan for now?
It means that the sins from our past are not gone, and that anything we've done in this life or the last one can possibly be used against us.
Well, I didn't commit any sins.
Insight check.
Sure.
Fuck.
No.
Different lives.
Innocent as a baby.
Different lives.
Is that a white dress you're wearing, you innocent?
As he insight checks, he just gets like the anime. Ring gets anime eyes and it's like sparkles around him. Like, oh no, he's totally telling the truth.
Well, Phil, to answer your question of how it happened, I think it makes the most sense that they had someone to help them. But if it's true what Kurt said, and they actually did bring Alex as well as the entire Legion of their souls, it seems like they got a group discount or something, because it seems like everything that Lundra had is using to move just the four of us.
But when I killed Alex, the rest of the Legion,
They dissolved.
they didn't dissolve. They attacked me.
Well,
All
we
right.
saw them slowly dissolve into dust.
And they attacked me, and I killed every one of them over again.
Is that when you were swinging your sword wildly at nothing?
That's probably what it looked like to the rest of you.
Billy doesn't do that out loud. That was just me. It's a serious moment. I wouldn't do that. Really wouldn't do that.
Okay.
For to display the gauntlet, and now I have their souls, along with the souls of any other that fall to my gauntlet, my power now.
So that thing is a soul keeper.
I don't know.
Well, that doesn't seem very good, Kurt.
It's a 25-pound chest of souls.
What it means, though, is if it absorbs the souls of the people who kill it, then the souls of my wife and brother are also in this gauntlet.
Huh.
Out of curiosity, Kurt, so Finley and I are able to take our items off. Are you able to remove that?
Can I try?
That's a good question. Let me look this up.
It doesn't say
Wait for you to have a
anything.
skeleton hand.
It doesn't say anything about it, but it also like.
Oh my god!
Hey
What was that
Spaz,
character in the Aladdin
if you're
TV
watching, send me a message about Kurt's pulling off. I think he would be able to, but I don't want to misspeak. He had more design.
Okay, so just rewinding here for a bit.
Thanks.
So I mean, Alundra traverses us through time and space. I guess that's what you're talking about, the order side of things. So you're saying that this Alex perhaps uses that as like point to, was using that?
If we are the champions of order and Alundra,
sure.
Who's to say that the enemy cannot also pull champions from time and space to combat us?
Well, I assumed that might have been the horseman, but...
So is that a horseman gauntlet that you're wearing on your hand then?
No.
Well, then what the hell is it?
It's an artifact, I assume. Maybe it's something that the Mad One created himself, I'm not sure.
Wait, why do you think it's from the Mad One?
No, I spoke to him.
Well, also the fact that a little marionette puppet
There was a little puppet
guided
show.
us.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He leads us to these things, and I mean, honestly, that's only makes sense that he's the one who makes them.
So now that Kurtz has dropped this ball and we're combining Mad One to all this, Finley is going to get a very dejected look on his face. Hold on. So you mean to tell me that this Alex used something given to her by the Mad One for the purpose of coming to this timeline to put you into that situation, knowing full well of who you are, Kurtz Gladskin, and who we are?
They actually didn't know about you. They knew about none of you. They were actually surprised when we showed up. They were like, "Yeah, like, oh, we thought you were gonna come alone."
Well, that's fine, but what I'm saying is the Mad One is the puppeteer master. He's the one pulling strings all the time. If anyone knows it, it's me, let alone all of us as we're. Here's my point. I've been under the impression that the Mad One was, sure, a little bit crazy, but enjoys games and enjoys us for some reason, but knowing full well of who this Alex person was and what she planned on doing to you, I'm gonna pull my mask out. I don't know if I want any part to do with him anymore.
To be fair, he could have planned all that, killed my entire family, not given me a choice, and not given us the opportunity to utilize these tools. That being said, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing we can do against him. He's in most of our heads by now, I assume. And I assume, Ren, that he's going to be inside yours soon as well.
I doubt it. I wouldn't let him in.
Oh, we'll see how long you can ignore your mini you.
I'm gonna look at the mask and talk to it.
Okay.
Is this true? Did you know what her plans were? Giving her this power and knowing what she was going to do with it? Might look weird to you guys that I'm just saying this all out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud as I talk to the mask.
None of you guys will hear it, but Finley, you'll hear a very quiet whisper. Finley, did I not warn Kurtz that it was happening? I tried to help him. I sent a message warning. I could have said nothing.
It's not the question I asked you. I said, did you know what she planned on doing to Kurtz and his family?
I can see things, and I saw what was happening.
Enough of the games!
Finley, playing games is what I do.
If you can't give me an honest answer, I can only perceive and come to my own conclusions that you did know what you're doing the whole time. What kind of crazy lunatic are you? Game over. I'm going to throw my mask in the fire.
Amazing. Okay, as you chuck it into the fire, it's not going to burn. It will sit on top of the logs, the flames, trying to, consume anything that's in there. It seems to be impervious to the flames.
Only the fires of Mount Doom.
That's another play I saw. Yeah, bad call here. Okay.
I think
I heard some halflings talking
get some
about it.
sleep.
Yeah, you'd fit in great, Finley.
You're all acting a little deranged. Get some rest. I'm going back to my tent. We'll talk in the morning.
I'm just going to leave it in there.
I think I need to make a wisdom saving throw from taking mine off.
Oh, you're blindfolded?
Yeah.
Can I take my gauntlet off?
Let's see what Urgo's gonna do, and then we'll come back to you, Fritz.
Are we going to see this terribly sweaty hand over?
It's atrophied and.
Oh. Is that
I
enough?
think that's okay. On the sheet it says DC 12.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yep, 12. To doff the veil. All right, so taking off the Veil of Shadows, Urgra, gives you a corruption point.
Yep.
All right, so feeling you tossed your mask into the fire, nothing seems to be happening. Or you pull it off, and you can feel this darkness kind of as you pull it off. You can almost see like this black energy kind of purge from the veil and kind of go in through your eyes and absorb into your body, and you can feel this little bit of darkness, and then it disappears. Kurtz, you were asking about your gauntlet. Are you going to try to take it off?
Well, I don't want to take it off if no one's pushing me to. From a meta standpoint, I don't want to take it off if it's going to give me corruption. So
You haven't tried taking it off, so you don't know if you can, or if you can, you don't know what's going to happen yet.
Well, I've kind of been assuming that I have to take it off to, like, sleep and shit.
Bathing.
You haven't.
Take off his armor.
Yeah. Maybe it was a combination of you didn't think about it or didn't want to, but yeah, you've done everything with this gauntlet: bathing, eating, sleeping.
If no one's pushing me to take it off, I'm not going to take it off.
Okay.
It's that cashmere metal, super silky stuff. Clothing.
So as
Velvet line.
I throw the mask in the fire, continuing to yell like at the mask after I say, game over, and I throw it in there. Don't want to be your friend. Enough with your games. Thought we were having fun. But I don't deal with friends that hurt my other friends in such conniving and terrible ways. And I look at Ergra and Kurt. And I suggest you do the same. I'm going to go into my tent.
Okay. And as you get one last look at the mask as it's sitting there in the fire, you know it's not possible because it's heat. But you could swear you saw a tear kind of streaming down the mask. It probably didn't, but you swear that's what you saw as you turn to move away, no longer hearing the voice.
Yep. That's all I do.
Okay.
I slam my tent door that doesn't have a door.
Flourish.
The flap.
Zip it up angrily.
Presentation.
What tent? What tent do you have?
What?
Do you have a tent, or did you just walk into my tent and I'm going to kick you out?
Oh shit! Sorry, Rin. My bad. I'm in the wrong tent. Sorry.
Get out now!
I flourish.
Anti-trans and peace.
Damn it! All these tents look the same from the outside.
There's only one tent. Go away.
Ren didn't buy everyone a tent.
No. Why would I buy you all a tent?
Christ.
Why would you assume that?
Because he has a bag of holding.
Yeah, if you buy it, I can carry it for you, but I'm not going to buy it for you.
We've been doing this dance for 2.5 years, Connor. With the fucking program.
Where you been, bro?
Anyway, with a flourish, I go to my tent.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm just sitting there, brooding.
As Kurtz does. As the Kurtz do.
Trying to max out my brood stat.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta grind it. Alright. Oh, look, the tabaxi are here. Nurgle will walk off to greet the tabaxi that may or may not be there to escape this awkward moment.
I was waiting on you guys. Yep, they could be strolling up right now. So it was 2 horses, I think you said, per...
For 4.
So they're arriving in the middle of the night, or...?
Yeah, they'd be
Yeah,
coming...
they're supposed to arrive around midnight.
Yeah, midnight.
Oh, okay.
So they would long rest with us.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna shift
And
it
I'll
to
pass
say
out their
day
rations.
6. Okay. Current time. I'm going ahead and edit this so I don't forget. Year 8, day 6. Moving on up, boys. All right, so they can start unpacking their stuff and setting up their, their sleeping things. A lot of them are going to be used kind of like these hammocks that seem to be kind of patched together, tarping. The cording on it is going to be very heavy duty and like triple braided, and then those triple braids kind of triple braided again, and you'll see them kind of hanging them up on trees. Their efficiency is actually quite staggering. They're able to pull all their stuff up and set up very, very quickly. And then afterwards, they're going to kind of circle around and start grabbing some of the meat that was prepared and, roasting it over the fire and just kind of talking amongst themselves and re-going over the battle plans. And you can see all of them are very focused, like mission oriented. So you can see that they're, just trying to stay in that Zen state of mission tomorrow. We could die. We gotta take this serious. So they're all going to be in that kind of mode. Maybe Finley or Red Team Go might be, fucking around, playing pranks on the other ones, but they're going to be.
Yeah, they're smoking pot and just fucking hanging out, man. They don't even set up a tent. They're just like crude hammocks and shit. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
One's on the ground.
If we wanted to collect mucus from Grung, how much would we be able to collect? Because the mucuses override the effects of another mucus.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we could use it, because all he does is make us fucking yell. So if we have one that's actually debilitating, if we had like a little vial or like a jar that we could rub on ourselves of just his stuff, not like an antidote, so we'd still be under the effects, but it wouldn't be as detrimental.
So if you had a worse one, you could put his on there, and you have remedies to that one too.
Yeah, so we have outright antidotes, but I'm thinking if we could each get like a little jar of the mucus just to like dip into, or someone else could dip it and smear it on us.
Interesting.
That could override.
Yeah, Alfred's trained him to be able to control it, so yeah, he could secrete it. Give me an animal handling check.
I will try. I'll help first.
Thank you.
Or he can ask me to do it.
So I have something I want to do then, but I'll let you do this first.
I am going to use an inspiration point.
Okay.
That's a really good idea too.
I think. Yeah.
Wait, do I have one?
Yeah, you do. I just turned it off. It's not on the screen, but I can see it on my stream deck.
17. Oh, 17 advantage. Because you're helping me.
The inspiration points let him re-roll the whole thing. Right?
Oh.
Or does it only do one? Yeah, I think it would do both. Yeah, if it's advantage.
So.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and roll me a d4.
So for 4, boys.
Here's the hoping.
Fuck.
You can get two portions worth.
Okay. I'm going to give one to Finley and one to Rin. Because they're the most mobile, so they could spread it on us if we get locked up by like paralysis or something.
Okay.
Cool. That's all I had. Sorry.
That's a good idea.
So we have like one Grung red and one anti-Grung.
So you have one complete antidote and then like a jar basically that you can scoop into like Vaseline and smear it on us to, override an effect, because the poisons don't stack if you get introduced to a new one. It just wipes the old one. So if we get like paralyzed, you can just run up to us, dip your hand in, you'll probably be affected too, but you're just yelling at that point. Smear it on us, completely break us out of the paralyzed.
And you guys know that there's no saving throw on it too. It's if it touches you, it affects you.
Yeah. But the only one we have an antitoxin to is the red one too.
That he knows.
One.
He hasn't been able to test it on other Grung venoms, but he said it worked for Grung's venom. So if it's like the same thing, I don't fucking know.
We don't know. Tomato, potato. Right. Yeah. We don't know. The only thing I'd like to do is once the Tabaxi get there, I just went into my tent. I know we're not sleepy yet, but once the Tabaxi get there, I'm going to check in on Red Team.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull out something from my bag. Something that I stole from a Tabaxi shed a while ago.
Okay.
And just go to the guys and be like,
it was a little bag of little something.
Yeah, I'll just say, all right, guys. Kind of look around, just make sure it's my team.
Sure, absolutely.
I know I talked a little bit before about, tomorrow's a big day, a lot of fighting. We might not all come out to life, but what my crew and I like to do sometimes when we know we're getting to a big skirmish is, kind of really lay the night before, kind of hang out, maybe drink a little bit, just talk a little bit, have some fun times, do a little bit of bonding. And, sometimes, and I pull out the bag,
do a little bit. I have no idea what it is. I don't even know if it's real. Well, I'm just like, just do a little bit of this and see if any of them like react to it or like if they know what it is.
Are you gonna open it all or just kind of shake the bag?
I'm just gonna shake it and visually, like, make sure that they can see.
No,
it.
man, you gotta open it a little bit, and so they get that smell. That's how you sell that.
But tigers can smell. I don't want like catnip 16 tigers on me real quick. I'm just gonna.
You could be a little ways away from everybody else, yeah.
Yeah. Dude's up in a hammock. Dude's lying on the ground.
And when you pull it out and you're kind of dangling little strings on it, you're gonna see their tails kind of playfully whipping back and forth, kind of flicking.
All right, so they do know what it is. All right.
What is that?
Well, to be honest, I picked this up in a town and was waiting for a special occasion. I thought this might work. This might be a good one. To be honest, Thurgood, I don't know what this is. And I will hand the bag to the one tiger.
And they probably have been already smoking something of their own. But as you kind of toss it over, the other ones will kind of perk up from their hammocks and kind of lean over with interest as their tail are more playfully whipping back and forth. And the one in hand, what is this waste of time? And he opens the bag, and like instantly, a whiff of it is going to hit his nostrils. And you're gonna see his face kind of like disoriented, twitching. Is this nip?
Yeah, perhaps. I do not know.
And you'll see his eyes just become dinner plates, just
awesome.
And he's gonna like start scraping, like his big fat muscular hands, just these big paws trying to reach into this little thing, and it's gonna be like trying to scratch some out and like put some into his paw.
Hold on.
And he'll toss it to the next one, and the next one's gonna be like,
okay.
Let me try it. And they're gonna be scraping it, and before you know it, all four of them have kind of emptied it all out, and they're gonna be starting to prepare to smoke it.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't know what this is. I want a little bit too. What does it do? What is it? I don't even know.
One of them will kind of portion. You're halfling. You're small. You don't need that much.
I only need a little bit. I don't even know what we're doing with this.
Finley, are you going to join us with partaking in the nip?
I mean, like I said, as a bonding experience, sometimes me and the crew like to, hang out and try new things. Yes, I would.
Do you still have a pipe as well?
I don't have my cool cane pipe anymore. Like, not Kane, the bad guy.
Right.
I don't have my cool cane pipe anymore, but I have a regular bullshit pipe.
Okay. All right, yeah, they'll have all of their own, since they're, you decide who they were, so they would all have their own pieces. They'll all still be loading it in there and getting ready to smoke it, like frantically. You can see the whiskers kind of twitching, and they're all just like,
all right, man,
almost
keep it cool,
like,
man, keep it cool. You guys need to calm down. You're like making a scene, just
and they'll all kind of like huddle together, like all around you, kind of like this small circle, making sure none of the other tigers that are in the camp, are gonna notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do we do? Do we eat it? Do we smoke it? What do we do? We just light it up?
Smoke it. Yes.
Oh.
And they're all like ready to.
Let's do that. I mean, what do we need? Do we need fire? I mean, I'll go over to the fire and take a stick out. I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know what I'm doing.
Come with a little stick with a little red on the end, and you can pass it around, and you're gonna see them starting to rip on it.
Awesome.
And as they kind of pass it around, you're going to see all four of these grown-ass, huge, muscular tigers that are just ripped out. They're gonna turn into these little tiny kittens for personality-wise. They're just going to be crawling around, like pawing at leaves and kind of like running around, chasing each other's tail, kind of biting it, but like biting too hard because these are warriors. And you'll hear like one of them just roar out from the pain as they're all just starting to become these like inner primal kittens.
I thought you meant they physically became kittens.
No.
Like,
in their minds. Yeah, in their minds. They become these playful little kittens. And like maybe the little fire stick one kind of like tosses it, and it's this little red ember that goes, and the other one like pounces on it and starts like hitting it around. They're all kind of chasing it. They're not like, they're obviously some kind of something is happening. You're not quite sure as you're like have this moment of pause. Like, do I light it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
It's been a night, man. Constitution
Good
saving
day.
throw. Disadvantage.
You literally
A
rolled the one
4.
thing you couldn't reroll.
Finley, I need you to take a moment and channel the inner toddler version of Finley shenanigans
Oh God.
as you are taken back to the prepubescent, mischievous, outspoken, no filter Finley. And that is
Okay.
where you're going to live for a little while.
Okay, I can do that. I mean, for the beginning, first part, after it starts to kick in, Finley would probably, join in with the kittens,
Okay.
because they're kittens, right? So that makes sense. And like try to do little things, like try to like tie their tails together when they're not. And like probably obviously doesn't work because they're huge fucking tails, but like you still try. And like presentation, like if I saw the ember thing, I would like use present or like minor illusion to like put more dots on things.
Or like a little laser. You're
yeah. Just have, like,
They're all gonna be like chasing up a tree and
and just have as much fun as I possibly can with this scenario.
All right, Rin, you're gonna be in the
Go
tent,
ahead.
so you won't notice this since you're trancing. But
Oh,
the Urgra and Kurtz, you guys are still out there, so you're going to see Finley and his Red Team Go squad. They're all acting crazy. They're just all frantically running around. You see they're tackling each other and biting and pawing, and maybe one of them picks up Finley and throws it to the other one. You see Finley just flying through the air, kind of just screaming in pure ecstasy as they're all just complete shenanigans.
Make a
We're all
ball.
gonna fucking die.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. We're all gonna die.
Urgra climbs up
I'm
a tree.
I'm smoking my pipe of normal tobacco, just leaning up against the log, brooding like we're all gonna fucking die tomorrow.
Kids
Is
these
Kurtz's
days.
team a whole bunch of Kurtzes just shaking their head?
They're all brooding as well.
They're all also sitting up against logs, smoking pipes and brooding.
The old men's rocking chair just
I'd really
Kids
like
these
for all
days.
the tigers to represent their commanding officer. That would be stupid.
why not? Fantastic.
Brood squad.
Looking down their noses, yeah.
They're like
so
drinking
I'd
or
probably just use my little bit of cantrip magic that I have between presentation and minor illusion to make little balls of yarn, make fake bowls of like milk, just do all kinds of dumb shit.
Okay, yeah,
Change their stripes, colors, and things.
they're gonna be going crazy.
Yep.
Okay.
Bonding.
Okay.
We're bonding.
Anyone else?
And if it ever wears off, then I'll go to bed after that.
No? All right. Urga, you're saying you're going to climb up a tree and crash up there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kurtz, what about you? Where are you going to turn in?
With all the other tigers following Urgra.
Sure, why not?
they all climb in trees.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna brood for a little bit. Stare at the mask Finley threw into the fire.
Still there. Not
And think
burned.
about what I'm gonna do with it.
Okay. Amazing. Fall asleep in one snug like a kitten. All of them piled up.
I'm gonna snuggle with all my
So
kittens.
good. Okay. So good.
Oh god.
Okay.
Kitten snuggles. Ah.
So Finley's gonna crash with the kittens. Urgur went up in a tree. Rin, you're trancing in your tent. Kurtz, you're brooding, staring at the mask, pondering.
I'm gonna try something really stupid, guys.
Awesome. Do it.
So I'm gonna reach out with the gauntlet to the mask, pluck it out of the fire,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and put it on.
Nice. I like it.
Okay. So as you grab it with the gauntlet resistant to fire and just quickly reaching in, it's going to be no problem. You even reach your gauntlet into lava, so you're pretty confident this little fire's not going to do anything. As you grab the mask and you go to try to put it on, nothing happens. It just seems like a mundane item, just
Okay.
like, why would this do anything to Finley? It's not even doing it,
Can I try and snap it in half?
Ooh, interesting. No, it won't snap.
toss it back into the fire and go to bed.
Okay. All right. So as the four of you finally crash out, go ahead and long rest it up if you haven't done so already. And morning breaks. The fire has burnt out, so it's just a pile of ash. The mask will be sitting on top of the ash pile, still unburned. A lot of the meat was kind of rummaged through. Maybe there was some, middle of the night snackers that got up and had a couple more bits of the meat. There's still some portions left of it. I mean, there's a lot of meat on a whole boar. And Rin, you would have been done trancing about 4, so you would have definitely woken up first. So I assume you're probably going to be making the bacon and stuff.
Yeah, doing all the cook prep and setting up unseen servants if I need to do the task, and then doing that fabrication for them so they have that, and then doing a short rest afterwards just to kind of get the spell slot back with an arcane recovery.
Sure, no problem. Okay, so as you go to restart the fire because it went out in the middle of the night, you're going to, as you approach it, bringing the bundles and, preparing to cook up the bacon for everybody, maybe have some pans handy, where you're going to start frying them up or something. You look down into the fire pit, and you're going to see Finley's mask sitting on top of the ashes. The gray and black flecks all in this circle surrounded by these smooth rocks that have been gathered up by Kurtz. His mask just sitting right on top of it.
Mage hand, grab it, move it out of the way.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll taint the flavor. Don't want
Like
that.
how we're treating this dark magical artifact like a used condom.
Hey, you put it on your face, right? That's what you do when you're done with it?
God, foul creature.
It's good for your skin.
And then I'll just ignore it. I mean, I have no real care for the mask.
Sure.
I'll just keep.
Okay. As
cooking.
your mage hand and kind of just toss it to the side. You can start up the fire and start cooking it. So after a bit of time, you'll see, perking up noses as the tabaxi, the tigers, start to awaken to the smell of the savory, fresh boar bacon that's sizzling in the pan. I'm sure Rin is going all gourmand on it. And you guys will awaken to it as well. The popping of the bacon, that oily smell, fried meat. What a great smell to wake up to as the sun is cresting over the peaks of the jungle trees.
I mean, after I wake up in a pile of kittens and do like a big yawn, like a big cat yawn or lion yawn, like that.
And there'll be this awkward moment as they all awaken and see that you guys all snuggle in. They'll all kind of push each other off and kind of like, what happened in the cave stays in the cave kind of a thing.
What happens in the swamp stays in the swamp.
Exactly. Yep. And they all kind of back off and look at each other awkwardly. Like, you could just see this non-communication of, that didn't happen.
But it did. That's all I say. We're a team now. I mean, after breakfast for me, guys, I didn't have anything to do in the morning. And I did take off my spell for clairvoyance.
Okay.
Let's go save a Grung. I don't have anything to do.
Okay. Everybody's ready to move forward?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you guys can repack up. You can hook Brittany back up, Kurtz, and start continuing the rest of the journey. So if it was 12, 8 hours of sleep, 8 in the morning, 4-hour more journey, so you guys will show up at noon. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we're down.
All right. All right, so the majority of the second trek, it's going to be going from the thick jungle into the swampy marshland, and you're going to have that pungent smell of stagnant filth, water scum, as you guys are, kind of looking out of the windows of the carriage as Brittany is just kind of, her pace is kind of slowed down as she's kind of trudging through this. Some of it's mud, some of it's just dirty water. Maybe having to go around these large, exaggerated tree roots that are kind of sticking up out of the ground, making these arches. She's having to go around it. The carriage is still moving along. There's somewhat of a path that you're following, and moving along. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where the swamp is going to be too much to continue Brittany forward. and the carriage is
we-
going to need to be pulled over.
Would we be able to set up in that camp where the tabaxi were set up? Because that had like walls and it was more dry and built up, and we know that that's at least close to where the Grung are.
It is somewhat close. It is out of the way. The area you were heading was north of that of those ruins.
Okay.
Not by mistake.
Yeah. Let's camouflage the cart as best we can, I suppose, and all right, Brittany.
If we're getting to that point where we're starting to get close to not keeping Brittany, I will then start just casting a phantom steed for me to mount on top of and use that.
Okay.
I can probably fit a few people up here. You'd be riding bareback, but
I don't know. I mean, you ask the DM. DM, you tell me if you'll allow more, because it says usually it's only me or another person.
Oh, no,
to
it's
ride
talking
this.
Brittany.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
You're talking about on the Phantom Steed?
yeah, because we did Finley for a little bit, so I don't know. if
I'm
it's
talking
still
about
okay.
on Brittany.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well,
with the
if I go-
steed,
if
it
I
would
go
have
with
to be
Ren-
somebody who's like a size smaller equipped, like Finley,
So if I go with Ren, Urgo goes with Kurtz, we're good.
Urger just walks up Brittany's leg.
Oh God, don't do that. It's my elephant.
just sideways.
It's weird. It's like stepping on saggy material that moves when I.
That is disrespectful, Brittany. You are not saggy. You are
Does
a
it
precious
feel
angel.
horrible for Brittany? Like you have all this weight just like pushed and doing this. It's like,
Stepping quickly.
what does it feel like someone's doing that on the weight?
These are the questions we need to figure out for science.
You understand when you're on an inanimate surface, no problem.
Waste all of your spell slots on detect thoughts.
Okay. So, red team go. The stalkers, Grugs, dragoons, and the reserves will follow in tow. You guys will have command over them, making your way forward. So, moving in, we're going to say there's eventually going to be a nearby spot where you can tie up Brittany and the horses.
Well, I'm keeping mine.
Okay.
I'm riding in with the horse.
Okay. You magical steed.
Is
Fuck.
Brittany gonna be safe here?
Yes,
She's
yeah.
she's a fucking mammoth. Yeah, she'll
she'll
be fine.
just start grazing. I'll allow you
We're
guys.
up on Dinosaur Island.
You found a safe enough spot to keep them. They're not going to be able to move forward with you guys as you begin to trek forward.
Brittany, if anyone except for all of us comes here and tries to take you, you stomp on them.
Okay, so
I will minor illusion an elephant stomping on a stick figure.
beautiful. All right, so Finley and Kurtz. I said we would bring you two. All right, so before you move, I'm gonna plop you down. Let me see how big your vision is. Okay.
And each of you gonna go 2 good berries.
All right, 2 good ones.
I'm gonna drop you guys in 2 different locations.
And just for sakes, I'm doing mage armor.
Oh shit.
And the stream can't see what you guys see, neither can the other players. So don't move your tokens. You guys can go ahead and get a look-see. So between the map, Kurtz, you're not going to get the where people are kind of a vibe. It's more the layout of the land.
I figure me and Finley are working in like tandem.
Sure. But Finley, with your eye that you're dropping, you can go ahead and everything that you see from there you can see, and then the 2 of you can discuss, plans, or just take mental notes and then talk about it with the rest of the group. And I'm going to use it to where you guys can share anything. I'll keep you guys here if you guys want to have the conversation, just so you don't have to actually go off memory, but that's what your character would be doing. So you guys can inform them of anything you guys can gather without moving your tokens.
All right. So using Kurtz's map, if everyone gathers around, I'm going to minor illusion on what I would assume to be. Let me zoom out a little bit more here. Kind of the. Is that as far as the map goes? All right. So on this kind of northeastern quadrant here, it looks like there's a green pool of Grung. They're heavily guarded by about 8, 9, 10 or so of the Mollywogs. Adjacent to that, in the northwestern corner, it looks like there's some sort of structure, some sort of building. I can't really tell. And then off to the south, it looks like there's more pathways. Might go to more bullywog pools, but in this current moment, the only thing I can really see is a green one. How many bullywog? How many grung colors do we know? There's obviously grung, which is red, and then there's the green one, and we've seen yellow, right? Because I had 3 different colored ones. So
I see pink, red, and yellow spawning pools, also surrounded by bullywugs.
Okay.
Sort of in a semicircle shape around the edge of this, what looks like an island.
Pink, red. What did you say? Blue?
Pink, red, and yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
But
All right.
it doesn't look like we can get behind them very easily. There's some terrain blocking us out.
The green one over here is all ping on the map. There is some sort of water behind them. I don't know if it's swamp or deeper waters, but yeah, they are on some sort of like offset
There's
peninsula island kind of thing. And again, as I ping on the other side, there is a big building up here, so I can't really see what's going on in there in terms of creatures, but there is a structure there, so that's something to take note.
What if we get Rin and Finley, and the building you see, is it like a tower? Is it high up?
Nah. It looks like it might have multiple towers. I'm seeing this from the top, so it's really kind of hard to see, but some sort of main building which might have other towers around it. Can I tell if it's wood or straw or anything, DM?
The circular ones are going to be like circular thatching that kind of come to a peak,
like,
and then the other one is going to look more like a tent structure, like
so
a
they're
permanent
not like huge-
tent.
Yeah, they're not made of like stone. They're not buildings. I mean, they're just bullywog creatures, so they're probably using the lay of the land. So they're, but I mean, they seem pretty big.
This sounds like something that's flammable. Our
Most
blitzkrieg tactic has worked very well before. We could just sweep in, light all the buildings on fire, and try to catch them off their guard, or we could try and circle around and pincer them from both sides.
All right.
So Finley, that area where those are set on is going to be very reminiscent of the rune areas when you guys were in the other section of the swamps. So it's going to be kind of like that abandoned kind of overgrowth, the moss, the vines kind of growing over the old stone, bits of carving that meant something, but over the however many years of weathering, you can't really make anything out. But it was definitely once upon a time a spectacle, but now it's definitely...
I'll relay that to the group. It kind of it's almost like that tiger area where we met them before. Like nothing, to write home to mom about. But I mean, there's structures there, but long ago.
We know that the bullywug use poison, and we know that they're physically fairly weak. They run as soon as they are faced by any major threat, unless enforced by one of their overseers or masters.
All right, so why don't we just go and just go fucking ham, man? Let's just go and just take it out as we go. All angles, and just rip it.
You say ribbit or rip it?
Both.
Ribbit.
That's what Grug says. Grug says ribbit when he says rip it.
Rip it, rip it.
Any objections to just storming the gates?
Take our teams and just hit them from all angles. They don't know what's happening,
Maybe easier if we stayed together.
Well, I'll use the map again. I mean, if we just kind of like meet in the middle, and I'm gonna ping on the part that I can see, DM. If we kind of like come from this angle and this angle and this angle, we'll just kind of meet in the middle.
I'd have to avoid it. Might be a building. I'm not very sure, but from the angles of like what's blocked off, it looks like there's a building up over here.
Or at least 2 teams.
If
We
it's
should
not,
separate into 2.
what I'm saying, if it's not guarded, it looks like there's a route for me to get and circle around.
I mean, if you don't want to separate altogether, Urgra, I mean, maybe at least 2 teams. Maybe we could have one come from here, and I'll kind of ping down the southern edge, and maybe
I don't think
one
we
from.
can see your ping.
I know. I'm
I
pinging
have
for the.
no
I'm
map.
pinging for the DM so he can see it, and like one from over there.
I can be agreeable to splitting up into 2, but I don't think splitting into 4 is a little foolhardy. We don't know if they have reinforcements hidden under the water or something.
From where we are right now, DM, what side are we coming in at? If we all came in one group, is it over here or is it over here? From like where we are right now to this map.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Well, technically, we could circle around to come at it from any angle we want now that we know where it is.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just saying from the map that we were given, like, does it look like we could come from either one of those two areas?
Sean, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I've been talking. All right, so I moved you guys. So this is where I'm going to start you. And I'll go ahead.
Okay.
So now you're going to go off memory. But I'll go ahead and move you guys so you can see where you'll start next week. And so the viewers can also kind of get... so they were inside, so you guys can use that stuff for memory. I moved you guys. So this is where I'm going to start you guys here. You guys can attempt to split up, but you're going to have to start from here. Okay?
Got it. Cool.
All right. Any questions or anything else tactic-wise you guys want to do? And then after that, we're going to go ahead and end the session. So we love getting questions from you guys in the chat. So while they are wrapping up their plans, go ahead and throw us questions. It can be about their characters, about the game. It could be about any moment. Tonight there's a lot of really good RP and some good theories and stuff that are thrown around. So we'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. So yeah, I'll turn it back over to you guys. And when we see the questions pop up, we'll go ahead and turn towards those.
Yeah, a lot of good conversations.
Are we strategizing or talking about the show?
I mean,
Not you. I mean, because we haven't seen anything, so you have to tell us.
Yeah. So.
I'll watch it.
You
So
can,
like
you can
here-ish.
ping on the map to kind of hint at them, but they're not gonna. You guys can't move.
Yeah. So like here-ish,
Sure.
here-ish, and maybe down here-ish. Where I saw the spawning pools, the buildings over here.
Yeah, I'll use my memory. This is where I said the northeast corner where the green is.
Mm-hmm.
Over here is where that thatch building is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a path that kind of goes, from what I could see from my clairvoyant eye, that was like here.
Okay. That would go straight into the center because I saw the exit of that path. That exits, yeah.
It went like this, and then from that it kind of T-boned down this way.
Okay.
But I could only see the pass. I couldn't see anything else besides the green pool, which is like on the other side of where we're at.
Oops.
We know that the Grung like to flee after the first volley, so we just have to survive like 30-something javelins, and we'll be okay.
My guess, if I had to guess what this thing looked like, I'm guessing if we go down this way is where we're going to probably find more pools. If I had to guess, but again, that's the only structure I can see. So bad guys.
If that's thatch, we can just light that on fire.
Do you have like any kind of major imagery or illusion of any kind?
Oh, now that I'm stacked up again.
So we got two questions. How long will Finley's hate of the mask likely persist, and how worried is Rin on the inside that he really is next in line for a mini-me, and is Kurtz tempted to evaporate the bullywugs with his gauntlet?
So how long is Finley's hate? Well, I didn't pick up the mask when we left, so it's still there. I didn't pick it up.
No, it would go back to your backpack.
Yeah, I know. I just left it there.
Okay.
Whatever happens to it, but I left it there.
Okay.
Most likely persist. I mean, dude, I just learned that this whole Kurtz arc thing happened because he gave someone a powerful thing to kill his family with. Like, just went from you're cool to wait a second. So,
Interesting. Okay.
that's where he's at with that.
How worried is Rin on the inside that he really is next in line for a mini-me?
Rin is kind of nervous because he doesn't know what exactly to expect, but on the same token, he has seen his friends technically in some way resist it, or at least show ways where they can just not choose to activate it. So there's this sense that at least he might have some level of control. So he probably has that like safety net of thought, thinking as long as I can do that, I can handle if anything is thrusted upon me when I don't want it, because I still have the final say. So it's not like it's he doesn't see it as anything like overly crazy yet because he's never experienced it. But that might change depending on how whatever happens when it happens.
Okay.
And will he even recognize it that's happening?
Hmm.
The bullywugs and the gauntlet. I mean, honestly, they're not worthy
Interesting.
of being in the Legion. So, I mean, obviously, if it's like tactically sound to use the pit, I will. Obviously, because I don't want to die. But no, I don't want to use the gauntlet unless absolutely necessary.
Okay. Spaz asks, how strong does Rin think his mind is?
I mean, it's one of those things where until someone proves him otherwise, he thinks he's pretty up there. I guess you would say he needs a dose of humility, some level of realization that he really actually has to be a bit more centered on, he's not the best, or he's probably got enough to better and make himself better, rather than thinking he's the pinnacle compared to the rest. Because he does have that ego going on.
Okay. And one last one. And lastly, did Urger suspect a confrontation when she flipped the dagger into the boar?
I mean, how I pictured in my mind, so Urgra is essentially like, she had the blindfold on at that point, so she kind of like, we do kind of like Daredevil sight if you ever saw that movie. And so it's kind of like the black and white shifty sort of vision. And so I imagine the boar's head on its neck facing straight up, and it just starts moving its jaw a little bit. And we just had a bombshell dropped on us about what like necromancy is and like how it corrupts those who use it. And so she just wanted to take out an enemy before it could do anything to her. She didn't know that it would make it go away, but I think I'm pretty happy with how she decided to burn/purify what the subject was to make sure it wouldn't hurt her or her friends.
I thought it was pretty fitting that it only had one eye. Your whole thing has been vision, and then you pierce the other eye, so that's why I had it just die. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that's it for us. I hope everybody had a great time tonight. This was... it's so hard to say a favorite, but it's been definitely in the top for me. I really enjoyed tonight's game. So we are leaving off right here as they are beginning to come into the Bullywug camp. So tune in next week, and we will actually let them try to liberate the Grung as they got a pretty good feel for the battlefield. Yes. AJ, can you let them know the other shows on the channel, and we will sign off for the night.
So, throughout the week at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can catch our other shows. Sunday, we have Ages Past. Monday, we have Whispers of the Eye. Tuesdays, HotA, of course, as you can see. And tomorrow, we've got Rise of Unity coming up again, so check those out. Lots of fun.
Awesome. All right, yeah, jump in the Discord. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you missed anything, check out the YouTube. That's it, and love you guys. See you later.
Night, everybody.
Night.